Big Tom, Nate GPT here. Before we get started, I wanted to note that we had a slight hiccup during recording this week. Due to this hiccup, some of the audio may sound a little different from normal. Apologies in advance. Now to the show. Honk honk.
Anyway, let's get busy with this podcast.
We'll see what blur puts in the episode this week. He's going to literally miss it all. And welcome back to episode 109.
It's a MacBook. It's not a phone.
It is. I'm gonna get a MacBook one of these days. It's just not this week. I was pricing them out yesterday.
It's episode 525, not 109.
It is episode. Oh yeah, good call. We got to cut that whole fucking thing. God damn it, Nate. I'm gonna just mulligan that whole thing. Okay.
No, you're not. That's going in for sure.
Yeah.
How dare you get the episode right?
Welcome back.
It's been over 100 episodes of us screwing it up.
Well, it's just usually I don't know. It's just bald right in my face.
I tried to mess you up and it didn't work.
No, I did it myself. Yep, sure did. So, nonetheless, this is episode 525 of the Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, a podcast by crew for crew. I'm one of your hosts, Big Keith, joined as always here by Big Joey. And this week we have a special guest crew, Big Samantha Scardino, or Big Scar as we know her.
Hey guys.
Howdy, howdy.
I know we've just been dominating the conversation for the past 15 minutes. Sorry, Scar.
You're good.
Is that still your last name, or did you guys? I know you're engaged.
I did not change my last name.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Scar.
That's got to be a lot easier for just being in like your profession then, right? Too. So it's like you don't want to like be like Mrs. Hoffman, right?
Yeah.
After being
Birdwatcher to you guys.
Yeah. That would be that. I remember as a kid, like growing up, like you'd had like the same teacher, or like you'd look back and like your teacher who, she did get married and took the other person's name. It's like, oh, that's not her name anymore. It's just that processing that sometimes is.
But also this isn't like the exchange of property anymore. We don't have to do that.
Right.
We don't have to like change names. And also, my last name is every vowel in the alphabet or every consonant, and my wife's last name is a very pleasant French royaume. It's just all vowels. And she was like, yeah, I don't want your nightmare of a last name where every consonant is in a row. So she's like, I'll just keep mine. We're not going to hyphenate it because then that's, like I've said before,
that's even worse.
That's the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. It's everything. So she opted out of it. But also, welcome, Scar. Sorry.
Yeah. You got anything you're drinking over there this week, Sam?
Yeah, I have the Ice brand. They're really good, and I'm the slowest drinker on the planet, so I need something with a cap so I can put it away.
Okay. So yeah. The amount of soda cans that I dump out the next morning that are like a quarter full or a half full that Stephanie left on the end table. It's like, and I'll pound like a stale one sometimes, but it's just like then it's like a stale sparkling water is literally just like water.
Water. Yeah.
I feel like it has no flavor at all.
It's musty flavored water.
Yeah. It's just like, and sometimes I was like, oh, that wasn't the best idea.
That's called wife water.
Yeah.
Basically. Like that's a thing. Like just like wives leave water everywhere.
I'm bad with like water bottles. Like I'm looking at room, but could be worse. I just got a Waterloo this week. Nothing special.
Yeah, I got nothing special. I got 24 hours of work in the next 2 days, so I'm not doing anything great.
I'm wearing my favorite Massonomics adjacent shirt, the old Unpaid and Underrated tee. It's a good one. I love how it fits. Scar's got on what do you got on over there? Is that the nice rack shirt?
The nice rack shirt that I got from the Lift Hard Live Easy last year.
I love that. Does that get a lot of comments in the gym and when you're wearing it?
I did because I wore it for St. Patrick's Day because it's green. And I did wear it to a workout, and one of the coaches kind of like definitely like I saw him do a double take and was like, nice.
Yeah, it's like good stuff.
Nice.
Do you remember to wear a Massonomic shirt this week, Joey?
No.
I don't blame you. Sometimes I did not have one on until like 5 minutes ago. So
no, the past
always have it.
The past 2 days have been hell. I'm literally wearing the shirt that I took off yesterday because it was too hot to put on a sleeveless shirt, and then I was just reaching in the back seat, and I was just like, "Oh, shirt." So yeah, it's no, I'm not gonna get into it. People will whine.
I got a quick little story. So I was driving in Rochester today, and there was a guy in like a pickup truck with the whole back of his windshield rear wheel, whatever the back, what the hell,
Rear windshield.
yeah, I guess. For some reason, I think there's another word, but nonetheless, it was all Cleveland Browns logo on it and stuff. So I was like, oh, it had like a little kindred spirit moment right up until the motherfucker did an illegal lane change, and I was just like, this fucking guy. I hope he wrecks. Like, fuck that guy. I was so like, oh, cool, go Browns. And then it was just like, I can't support you in any way, shape, or form because for no reason you're like just zigging in and out of traffic, cutting people off with no turn signals. Like, God.
So you were friends until you weren't.
Basically, I was just, it basically told me that like I hate shitty drivers more than I love the Browns, I guess. At least in that moment, because at no point was I like, well, he could be the best Browns fan in the world. That's not a redeeming quality for what you just did. Did I put the front squats thing in there, or did you?
No, it was definitely not me. I don't do front
Okay.
squats.
So I did because I thought I put it in there, and then when I read it today, I was like, did I do that? But yeah.
Did I do that?
This week I did my first like actual Olympic rack position on a front squat. God, my fingers still hurt because before I've always done just like the shoulders, the elbows crossed, the arms crossed, whatever, and it's fine. But like if you're doing a higher reps, the bar just starts sliding down, and you end up like zerchering it towards the end. So actually be able to do the Olympics, it was interesting. I don't know if I'm just getting more mobile with like strongman shit, more overhead press stuff, or it was just like I could have always done it and just never did because I know I tried it a couple times. Just I think the bar just literally fell out or my hands hurt. So I don't know. That was an experience. So I will have to probably start doing a lot more front squats in my future with some medical stuff I got going on. I did get. I think I talked about it briefly in the past. I got my CT scan last week or something, and then I had a follow up with the doctor today, and they were basically like, so good news is no cancer, no fucking tumor, nothing inside, nothing visible in the CT scan that's like, to be worried about that's like going to cause any kind of, negative issues other than just like I have a lump on my neck now. And it's just, they think it's just from the trauma from like barbell back squatting for, 10 years basically. Don't really know why it popped up and why it hasn't spread and why it hasn't gone away, but they did recommend just not putting any pressure on the back for an extended period of time and see if that does it. I've done a couple months here and there of not squatting with anything in my back, but then I kind of recently, I found that as long as I don't put anything on it, I can still do I could still do an SSB on it with no issue, at least no pain in the moment that is, and then I can low bar right underneath of it. But they were like, even doing that might be agitating it enough to not let it heal because I think it's just like a build-up scar tissue essentially, or a build-up trauma area that just hasn't had a chance to heal. But I don't know, it's been 2 years, so I think if it was going to heal, it would have healed by now. But I might run like a full 6-month block or something and just only do front squats and zerkers. I still haven't committed to that yet, but I've floated the idea out to my coach, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm not dying. You guys are stuck with me, so it's just you're stuck with a little bit more of me because I got this fucking, half a tangerine sized lump on my C7. That's just, I had Stephanie take some pictures of it the other day, and I was just like, fuck, that really is not great looking, but not much I can do about it.
Maybe it's a conjoined twin.
Googly eyes.
Yeah, that's what I was like. There's that Family Guy episode where he has that thing on his shoulder and they cut it open and it's another version of him that talks like this. Mm-hmm. And he's just so excited to see the world. Wow. Like he's the opposite. Like maybe it's the opposite of you. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the evil Keith that likes purple.
Yeah, it could be. I wonder, I will, I want the crew. I don't know, actually. I would say like, it'd be funny to have like a contest to name it, but I really don't want to like, like I'm okay with it, but I really don't want to be like poked at too much with it. But I should name the thing. Like I just don't know because we named when Stephanie had her tumor. Well, I don't. It's not a tumor, but Stephanie had a tumor, and we did name it.
Not a tumor.
Yeah. Oh my God, my buddy, my buddy who's actually a doctor. Like he's a legitimate, like he's a a legit doctor. I sent him like the CT, the radiologist report, so he can kind of give me some feedback just over text. And his response was like in Arnold voice, "It's not a tumor." And I was just like, yeah, "That's great." But not enough about me. You got something there, Joey?
Sure. Jeez, I had like 2 or 3 things on here.
Yeah, we got plenty of general. We had no general topics like a half hour ago, and
Yeah.
Jen actually helped me throw a couple in there of just
Jen.
like obvious stuff that I forgot about.
Yep. Yeah, I'll do 2 of them. I want to be the first to welcome Big Stephanie Honeycutt to the crew. It's about time you joined crew, especially now that I see she's doing some lifting, and I'm very proud of her for that. I know that on the wives episode we talked about some barriers she was going through. So hey, welcome. We love you. Always have. It's not often we say the better half and mean it, but
Facts. She is damn near perfect.
She is very funny. I added one of these, the Brita filter. So, we live with my dad, and he's been using Brita filters because we live in the country and we are on not well water, but on
like the one where you fill up the pitcher, or
the Brita jug. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been using the same jugs for years. So we've just been cleaning them and replacing the filters and cleaning them and replacing the filters. And finally, I saw that buying a new one with filters at Costco was actually cheaper than buying new filters. And this one's 10 glasses instead of 6. And then I was like, I'm in. Let's do that. So I brought it home, put it on the counter, and then I went about my day. And in the middle of the night, I got up to use it, and the fucking thing has a light on it. Okay. I've never seen a Brita filter jug with a light. And can I tell you, I had a legitimate "we used to be a proper country" moment where I saw that light up, and then I yelled in my head, "The hell is that? Not everything needs lights nowadays. Can't we just have filters?" And then
that's just another battery you got to change now.
Yeah,
too.
right. It was just
fucking like,
and that's what my dad said. He was just like, they're just trying to make you buy more filters by artificially declining it. When it goes red, they tell you to buy a new one. But in my head, like, I legitimately had like a not everything needs lights. What? Where are we going with this? So
that's good.
I thought that was a pretty funny "we used to be a proper country" moment.
We also used to be a proper country when we only had like 5 or 6 Discord channels, and now I think we have like 6 to 9. If actually, it's probably more like a dozen. There's so many in there.
There's a lot.
There's so many Discord channels, and like I get it, they're all relevant. I just change, no change bad. So it's just like that acclimation time period of like, all right, this is the order of things, and it's just, but it makes it so much harder to keep up on stuff. Like when Stephanie joined the Discord, she didn't realize it wasn't just like a big group chat thing. Like she thought like, so she had no concept of like the channels and stuff. And she was like, wait, there's more? Like, what the fuck is all this? And then like, I was just turn off all your alerts except when you're tagged, and then just look at it every now and then. And, but yeah, there's so many channels.
I had a legitimate like moment, like when I was like, now I have to learn this. It's fine, but now I have to learn this. But then I remembered we're not going to use any of the channels like they're supposed to be used. Like we're gonna mess everything up. So go ahead, name all your channels, Tanner. Name them whatever you want.
Well, it does irk me when people put the most random shit in, like, because he did the supporting members channel literally to make it easier for him to give people fucking credit on the podcast on the fly, because it's not his job to keep a secondary document and just fucking log everything every week. So being able to scroll through like 20 comments to pull out the 15 that are actually relevant versus having to scroll through 100 comments to pull out the 3 that are relevant. Like, I get eliminating all the YouTube shit from that page.
But I also get just how he complained, and he was just like, can you guys keep this to what it's supposed to be? And we all just were like, no. Yeah. And then I think I said, like, I thought this was for those of us that missed the Facebook group where we could just post dumb shit in this chat group. I thought that was pretty funny. Just completely hijacking it. Big thanks to David Hunter, Big David Hunter, one of the Davids.
One of the Davids.
For his
we're still not sure which. I think it's David Hunter. Like, I still can't really tell them apart half the time, but it's basically the only David left, because the other David, again, we get a good comment from him once a month, and that's about all we can get from the other David.
Yeah, but he's going through some stuff. Let him sort that out, then he'll come back. No, but yep, another AI country song that does not sound like the other ones. But at least this one took pot shots at us, and that's important.
They were some good jabs. I had to listen to it a couple times, and there was levels of jabs, and I didn't take anything offensive. I laughed at most of them.
Oh, they were all funny, but at first I was like,
the same.
did he call me a keyboard warrior in that song? Like
a little bit. What was it? It's tough online, but not in person, or something.
Yeah, and I was like, but I'm
just like,
I'm neither.
And I'm sure I'm busy.
Yeah, no. He got us both. It was actually really well written, really good.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to hear that one, Sam?
I have not, no, but
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah,
it's
I
on the
post it on our
YouTubes.
stories periodically. We got to get Blur to actually like link it somewhere on our blog post.
It's coming. He's working on so many. He's so busy.
He is the busy. He out of like I do feel that he is legitimately busy because like 3 kids, runs his wife, helps with the
Part-time florist.
The wife's that, and he manages like 17 websites and then does like 30 other things for friends when they ask, and then has to help us out one over here. So yeah, Nate is legitimately busy. I will give him credit for that.
Do you want to do rate the episode, new drop, and then 2 more little randos?
Yes, let's do that. So last week's episode, I dropped the ball on that one. I didn't write anything down on that
powerlifting myths.
Yeah. So that was the funniest thing about that one really for me was just that Tanner legitimately did not post the link in the channel. It had to have been, and there's still some debate on where it was posted because everyone's giving me a hard time saying it was there, and I'm like, it was never legitimately ever posted in the podcast. It had to be somewhere embedded in the invite. Never saw it. Literally sat there for a fucking hour waiting for a link, thinking it was just running late. Oh, I felt like such an asshole. And then when Sunday rolled around, like I think I had some snarky comment about how no one heard this before it. And then Anthony was like, "What are you talking about? Like I listened to the whole thing." And then I thought he was gaslighting me. So then there was some back and forth, and he was busting my chops. And it was just really funny all the way around. But yeah, last night's episode was definitely posted in the link, and got to listen to all that. But yeah, the powerlifting myth. It was a good episode. Always enjoy the boys shooting the breeze, and I will go ahead and give it 5 out of 5 missing links.
I am muted. So that was not a helpful comment. Sam, what do you got?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I compete in powerlifting, so I've heard a lot of those. I think one of the ones that they did not talk about, and granted, they're not women in powerlifting, but one of the biggest myths that I hear for female lifters is don't lift too much or you'll get bulky.
It's common.
And
sure.
I just want to be like, bitch, I'm trying. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Even I hear that, and it's just like I want to get strong, but I don't want to get big, and I'm just like, pick one. Like you don't get to do both. Well, I don't want to get bulky. You won't. Trust me.
I love just the like, okay, well, like, how about like let's lift a little bit, and then when you're at a position where you're happy, then you just stop. You can just stop then.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that that's never going to happen.
No, like I just want to do this one deadlift, get to this weight, and then I'll stop. Like that's where I want to end. No, you won't.
No, I need. That's why they make 0.75 plates and 1.25 plates and different
For
sports and pivoting to strongman and pivoting to this, that, and the other, and picking up rocks and all that shit. So, yeah, fitness is a never-ending journey.
Yeah, but I really liked the episode. I'm glad that they finally had the Fairlifes that I know and love.
Oh yeah, the good Costco ones.
The good, because when they were talking
like
about it on the
grams.
previous one, that was like the Fairlife like chocolate milk, and I was like, wait, that's not the right one.
Yeah, no, not at all.
These ones are like the ones that are
like 22 grams. Like, oh, that's not enough.
No, it's like it's a cult within like its own little cult, because when you see them you're like, oh yes, thank God. And I'll have them in the classroom and see another student and we'll kind of have like a moment of like, what's up.
We got the
that is so legit. I will give that 5 out of 5 Fairlife cult classics.
Nice.
I actually could probably also go on a whole episode about powerlifting myths. I found myself yelling in the car again. Sumo is not cheating because the sport isn't how you deadlift. It's get the weight up, locked out, and put back down. But I would never sumo. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, good for you for doing it. You figured out that I'm never going to do it. It's things like that. I could go off for hours. Do you have to be fat to be a power lifter? No. Does it help? Probably. Like things like that, like I could do that for a long time. The Axe body spray stuff. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Remember that.
That was big. And
everybody was talking about how great their commercials were. No, the commercials were shite. They were so terrible. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a 5 out of 5 bod body sprays. Ripped abs. Hey, I got one. No, go ahead.
Well, I have like a less than 2 minute story topic, I guess. Just so does everyone, like, as a kid obviously watch commercials because we had cable TV, all that. And then when we didn't have cable and got on streaming, remember that like 5 to 10 year era before commercials came back into streaming, and it was just like I didn't watch a commercial for like 10 years straight on anything because all I had was streaming. Like that's when I say we used to be a proper country. It was that fucking small little chunk of time where I had 0 ads in my entire fucking life, and now I'm just bombarded with ads everywhere, and I'm not paying more subscriptions just to fucking eliminate an ad. Just have a product that's good enough to like not, I don't know, like just fuck off.
No, you're not wrong, because I had that thought today watching YouTube when I got bombarded with the 1 minute of commercials. And I work in telecommunications, and I've done some study on this type of stuff. And they call millennials the cord cutting generation. That's what they call us. The cable cutting generation is all of us cut cables so that we could stream. But then somebody figured that out. And as soon as they started losing money on cable, they started pushing those ads into streaming. So all the people that are like, oh, I don't pay for cable, it's too expensive. Well, how much do you spend on streaming unless you're illegally pirating? Which I don't have the time or patience to illegally stream things. I get it. I understand pirating is what it is for some people, but ain't nobody got time for that. If I want to watch something, I want to watch it. I don't want to go find it, make sure it's not a shaky cam. You guys remember shaky cam bootlegs?
Yeah,
just some guy with his camcorder trying to hide it.
Sometimes still have those. If you want, there's very few movies that I want to watch so bad that I'll watch that version.
Yeah,
because at that rate, I'll go to the theater or I'll wait 3 months for it to come out.
But now it's like you pay for this subscription, that subscription, and now YouTube wants a subscription, and everybody like, no thanks, and a lot of them you still get ads. Right? So no, I'm with you on that one. We used to be a proper freaking country.
I feel like I mean, yes, in a ideal world there wouldn't be ads, but I feel like I'd be so much more content with ads if they were ads like how we had when we were kids, because I want an ad for a super soaker or a Nerf gun, not a new antidepressant.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, those commercials make me want to take antidepressants, but like not the ones that they're showing. I don't know. There's just, yes, that's actually a very, very good point. Like I miss
fun thing
90s and early 2000s commercials.
That's an American thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I get a lot of commercials for antidepressants and drugs and that meme where it's like people dancing in the background and like doing yoga, and it's like could cause death and dysentery and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
that's strictly you guys.
Oh, because that's because the different healthcare systems, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
they can push it because we have to buy it, whereas you guys get whichever you get. Whatever they
a lot of it's covered up here. Yeah, okay. So we don't get that specifically. I get a lot of AI ads, which I've ranted about on this podcast before, where it's that annoying like half Samuel L. Jackson voice. And it's just some shitty health product, which is probably an MLM. Yeah, we get those more than anything up here. And then randomly, like, a lot of Google Pixel ads. But that might be a YouTube specific thing because I think Google owns YouTube. But it's so funny
because it's all the same thing.
Knowing my job, people walk in and they've never heard of Google in their life, and they're just like, I've heard this is really good. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you have. I'm not saying it's not. Like, I love the Google Pixel, but it's like, you've been an iPhone user for the past 25 years or however long you've been an iPhone user, and you're walking in thinking, I might switch to this new thing. It's not organic. I know it's not organic. Sorry. Anyway, that's enough work talk. That's twice I brought it up now. I might be in a funk.
Do you want to
new drop?
You want to do the drop and then maybe pocket the other stuff for next week, just so we can. I don't care. We can still. I don't know how long it. I don't know if that segment's gonna be a long one or not.
One of them's a game, and the other one is Somebody said that we didn't. There was no Hong Kong last week.
Nah, did they? Did Tom do something wrong?
What Hong Kong?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard this podcast say Hong Kong. So
I mean, I've listened to it. I listened back to every episode. I've never heard it.
Yeah, me either. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. There is nothing missing. Relax.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's very strange. You'll have to get the blur on that, but I don't really know what they're talking about.
Blur. The new drop was dope.
Yep, I actually ordered something today.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I think it's my first order in like 6 months.
So, same actually.
Yeah, I had to give him some money.
And I do appreciate the new drink spotter. I wanted to say I owned one of every drink spotter, so
I literally put my order in, and then I was like, "Fuck! I didn't order the drink spotter." But like, I don't want to be the guy that like bugs him and does another order. Like, so I'll just if I want one, I'll get it in July. At this point, like, I'm not gonna. I hate the idea of being like, "Oh, Tanner, I did 2 orders. Can you combine them and refund me?" And like, just sorry for wasting your time. Like, I get people do that. If it's a mistake or something.
And also, not the 30 seconds of work it takes him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to bug him. We're bug him enough as is. So
you do.
But yeah, I got the home gym nerd shirt, and I got I did break down and finally buy the horse stall mat things.
I was this close.
I literally don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Like,
that's why I didn't. I
think I'm gonna screw onto the wall in the gym or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no functional use for it as an actual coaster.
Use it as a deadlift jack. You just
it's actually not. Well, it's gonna rub off the font, and then you're just
I know
But I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but it was like $18. It's like I couldn't afford not to at that point, at that price point. For some reason I thought they were more expensive when they first came out. So that just goes to show how much I pay attention sometimes. But
I'm just hoping I get the new job that I'm aiming for, because then I get to drive a forklift, and that magnetized drink spotter would be perfect in a forklift.
For forklift certified and safe. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that stuff coming in the mail next week.
Oh yeah, I look forward to getting mine in 2 months. Next one's a quick game, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, cool.
So I was just doom scrolling a little bit, and I follow a couple like wildlife experts, and I thought, Scar, you might be, bird watcher adjacent. Maybe this would be fun for you. What's the scariest animal you can think of? And I don't mean like terrifying, I'm never gonna see one. Like, what is a thing that like that if you came across, and there's a chance you would come across, would genuinely bother you? And I'll give you mine. Do you have one already?
Well, I had an answer, but then you're saying like that I've seen it like at the zoo, and we have a zoo really close to us that has them, and I've seen them on leashes, and they freak me out, and they're not like what you would think. It's the Komodo dragons.
Oh yeah.
That would be scary as fuck.
Because they're faster than you think they would be. They can climb trees, they can swim, and they don't like attack you. They just bite you and then sit there and wait for you to die.
Yeah, they just watch you poison.
They got the venom.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a dragon or a dinosaur we'll ever see.
So mine, this actually comes from seeing this guy. He's called Jay Prehistoric something, and he was holding what had to have been a 4-foot snapping turtle. And this thing's head was the size of an NFL football. And those exist here. There could be one. There could be one in the backfield right now, just sitting there waiting. Oh, they would take. Yeah, like that would murder you. Like those things. And then like its hands were like baseball gloves. And like I'm not very easily disturbed by animals. Like I've confronted most of the wildlife in our area, but I was just like, damn it. If I came across that, I would squeal like a little girl. Like that would terrify me and be like, nobody go near it. Like I would immediately become like that type of person if I ran across a snapping turtle that big. And I've seen like lions and tigers and Komodo dragons and those things at the zoo where I'm just like, well, those things, if you respect their space, they respect yours, blah, 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 blah. Coyotes, the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Coyotes are a little scary. But, like, they're not really going to attack an adult male or an adult human at all. But a snapping turtle doesn't give a shit. Like, you get close to it, it's just like, I'm eating whatever's by me. And, like, it would take you out. So, that's actually what led to that question, is that giant snapping turtle the size of my kid.
Yeah, so I actually saw the question earlier, and I was just like, nothing really came to mind, so I did some Googling, and it's just like I was gonna pick something from the Google, and there was just like there's so many different options, but like I think it did go back to kind of like, dude, like pissed off dogs and angry aggressive dogs, like I deal with that a lot at work. Like I'm not like I have a healthy respect for an angry dog of like, and I've been bitten multiple times by dogs throughout my life. So I just like don't love pissed off, angry dogs with shitty owners. And there's fucking millions of those. So that's scary. Like
I think the problem with a pissed off dog, like if I had to be upfront with you, is Scar, you could probably take a pissed off dog, but now you're the person that has to hurt a dog.
Yeah.
And I think that like it's also like when people are like running from gooses or just angry swans or something, like they're not scary. They don't really hurt, but like you don't want to be the guy to punch a dog in the face. Right? Like I carry a pocket knife. Am I going to be the guy that pulls a knife on a dog because the owner was shitty? I think that's kind of what leads to that fear, right? Like, am I going to be the one to punch a goose in the face? Am I going to be the one to grab a swan by the neck and twist it until it goes away? Like, no, I'm not. I'm going to run away screaming because, like, I don't want to be that guy. So I could really understand that. I think there's levels to that.
Yeah.
I think there's levels to that fear.
That, and then like I don't know, snakes in general. Like I think so. Stephanie is deathly afraid of snakes, and I think that her like I've gotten some osmosis from her on that. Like I used to never like. I mean, like I don't know. I've killed some snakes that as just growing up in West Virginia, we had black snakes everywhere. Like once you come onto your land, you're like, oh, what the fuck? And we had outside cats and stuff, so we were always kind of somewhat protective of it. But I don't know. I don't love snakes. I had someone. I was in someone's home the other day, and like, oh, do you want to see my snake? And I was like, no, I'm good. No, thank you. Like, do not want to see your snake.
Was
Do
that
not
code
wanna
for
see
penis?
No, it was she had like a pet snake. Like, she had that could like see the aquarium in the back of the H whatever in the back. But
You want to see my
last
snake?
one last thing on this. So like during my googling, do you know what the so I was kind of somewhat shocked of what the most dangerous slash an animal that leads to the most fatalities in the world. We were surrounded by them in Tanner's backyard for the last 2 years.
Skeeters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a million fucking deaths a year or something, or maybe it was 100. It's a big discrepancy.
It's a lot.
But it was. I was like, oh, well, that's a lot. So thanks, Tanner, for putting us all at risk.
He did everything he could. He sprayed the backyard.
I know. It's the running. It's running jokes, man.
It was the lawns between the hotel and B-dubs that really did us in.
Yeah, literally anytime you walked outside, like I think I got just getting out of the car going into the to a restaurant, I got fucking bit. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like I literally wasn't outside for anything. It's like walking into Walmart to buy bug spray and I got bit. Like what the fuck?
Anyway, that was my fun little game for general topics.
I think we rounded that out, and we will hand it over to Scar if she has a Massonomic sponsor read she wants to hit him with.
Yes. So I just have to preface that I did write it as an Elizabethan sonnet, which is in iambic pentameter. So I just need you guys to understand how impressive that is.
Perfect. All right. I don't know what any of that means, but we're proud of you.
I do, and I'm excited. Go.
Hear ye all, now ye lifters bold and keen, to tales from land where barbells do abound, in Aberdeen, where horse-stall mats are seen, and brutes discuss, well, nothing so profound. Gather thy druthers, discourse big and jest, with sparkling waters clutched in calloused hands. Proclaim, lift hard, live easy, such is best. Prepare thy cottage cheese, best in the lands. Let Brad the Pad thy patron saint become, while chicken bake fuels gains that none could dream. To Jefferson deadlifts thy foes succumb, whilst butt rock plays and silly goose all scream. We used to be of proper land, they cry. Get strong, stay strong, and lift till thou dost die. Join Massonomics crew today.
Nice. Well
Great. Yeah. No, that was really fun. Brad the Pad, our patron saint. All right.
Well,
do we have any lucky loos?
Maybe.
Oh,
Participants four.
yeah,
Is
I
it
see
Gary? Is it
one.
Gary?
No, we
No.
won't say.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, that's good for him. That's cool. That's good support. That's crew supporting crew. So
He's driving
take it.
home right now.
Big Sam, is that you?
Hmm?
Oh, we're gonna get you on the horn if that's okay.
That's the
Welcome to.
part.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
forgot to
you we
explain.
biff that.
Damn.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend like you weren't here the whole time.
Now she's here. That was
You go. Okay,
damn
so let's finally break this down. We're gonna go from the general topics where you're just another crew member,
Yes.
and then we're gonna transition you into the guest. But like they do
Yes.
on Massonomics, we're gonna pretend like you weren't here the whole time. And you're not the first to not get it, and I think that you know what? Like that explanation is there now for everybody. Big Scar, is that you?
Yes. Hi. How's it going?
Hey, welcome. You're
Great.
live on Unpaid and Underrated. We're
Happy
gonna
to be
jump right
here.
into recording with you. We don't want to miss any gold.
I knew I forgot something earlier. God damn it!
No, you
So mad.
Oh, whatever. We finally got the joke explained for the David.
Yeah. The David. I love that it's only one now. Even though
Oh,
there's
you
still
caught-
like 6 others.
I like how I said the joke and then you also explained it afterwards. That's another layer to that joke. Good work.
Well, we got to do it. Anything worth doing is worth doing twice.
We are not professionals.
Brother.
Samantha Scardino. We've been alternating between Sam and Scar. Do you have a preference?
For here, I think Scar is probably the easiest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I met you at the Live Hard, Live Easy, you introduced yourself as Samantha and then said, "But call me Scar," and that stuck, right?
Yeah.
Like that was
Well, because especially like so few people call me Samantha. I'll always introduce myself as Samantha, not Sam, but people kind of automatically go to Sam. But especially at this last Lift Hard, Live Easy, Big Sam was Cody's rival.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's going to be confusing. And yeah, Scardino is my last name, Scar for short. And that's kind of just been an easy nickname and a little more unique, I guess.
No, yeah, it's very original for sure. I don't think I've known any other Scars. Well, we'll hit you with the biggest one. Other than well, I mean, it should. Okay. So, what brought you to Massonomics altogether? How were you introduced? You know, why are you here? All that.
So I married into it. Now, Cody.
How was that funeral?
Oh, it was honestly the most perfect day ever. But yeah, so Big Cody and I are married and have been together for quite some time before we got married. So I've known about Massonomics. I've heard the podcasts and Unpaid and Underrated on like long trips and stuff that we would do where we would listen to it. And it was kind of just like well, I'm driving, so we're going to listen to this. And so I would pick up, or, you know, he has his headphones in walking around the house and just hear him giggle. And then he'll like come in and explain it to me, be like, okay, so chicken bakes or, you know, whatever it is. And so I got in on a lot of that. And then I know Cody has won a couple of competitions and I either filmed or helped or directed or whatever, pretty much all of those, helped in some way in all of those. So yeah, it's been there and I've kind of just been adjacent for a while. And then after the last Lift Hard, Live Easy, I became an actual member, an actual chip.
Nice. Did the influence of just being at Lift Hard, Live Easy be like, oh, I probably really should join this after, you know, competing and kind of realizing, hey, these people aren't so bad. That sway you a little bit to finally, you know, spend that $3.
Yeah, big money. No, it wasn't that. I think I got in my head because I knew everyone was going to be super nice, and from what I had heard, and like everyone is, it's such a supportive community, and I love that. I think I was in my head about it being too overwhelming. So you were talking about your wife and like with the Discord and stuff, and that was more my like, oh my God, I don't have time for it. Like I won't do anything on there, and they're gonna all hate me because of that. And Cody's like, you can just not. It's fine.
Yep. There's 600 people and maybe 50 of them post I would say like 20 of us post regularly and 8, like if you want to go to 100, 80 posts semi-regular. Right? Like there are those of us that are perpetually on Discord, and then there's some that are sometimes, and then there's 500 that are there going, the hell are they talking about? Which is fair. Like I said last week, they don't get it and they're not wrong. Go
Where are
ahead.
they gonna find where are they gonna find you at, Scar? On the old Instagrams. Where do you want people to follow you at if you do?
Yeah. Underscore is or Instagram is scar_lifts. LIFTS. So
Discord is Big Scar?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
So you and Cody are out there in California. Is that where you've always been, or is that are you a transplant or
California?
No, we're Cody and I actually are both like pretty much in the same town that we grew up in. And we both kind of like moved away for a while and then ended up coming back. I love it here. It's Southern California, but it's not LA at all.
LA.
Yeah. Like I can look out and see the Santa Monica Mountains from my back window here, and I love that. And it's been about sunny and 75 all day.
It rained here today. What is there any piece of Massonomics merch that you've seen us wearing, see us post, that you wish you had?
I think one of the biggest ones, and this is not like, I don't believe it was actually sold. I don't know if she made it or not, but at the Lift Hard Live Easy 2, Jen was wearing like overalls, and that was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I instantly wanted those really, really bad. But I don't think that was like I think that was just like specially made, that like she made something. So that's really cool. And then I do steal Cody's shirts sometimes because there's certain ones that are just really soft that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Huge Life one is like a really soft material.
I don't wear that one enough. I gotta go find it. That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between the athletic fit and the comfort fit, I think. It's like right in between
it's just
those.
Like, it's
it
like
is
a
different.
thinner kind of material.
It is a different cut. It's not the the athletic cut that like they used to always sell, and it's definitely not a comfort. It's kind of a weird. It fits me somewhat awkwardly, so I don't love it. But yes, it is soft, but I don't know. When you're shaped like I am, there's very few clothes that is flattering.
Dude, what's your Hall of Fame status? Do you have one? Do you know it?
I have 5 points, I guess. I don't know. It's called points.
5 checks?
5 checks, I guess. Yeah.
Are we 5 or are we 6?
Year 5.
It's exciting. Anything more than 1 is awesome. That's how I view it.
So I'll hit my year in August.
Very good. And supporting membership number?
I am 459.
Next.
Oh, you did find the card then.
I did.
Sure you weren't sure. So
that's the gold 459. Card, right?
Yeah. It's all here right in my notes.
Yeah,
that's the gold card you've got, or do you have the first black one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have the.
No, I don't think. I think when the black ones came out, I don't think we were even at like 300 tops. Probably, I'd imagine. Yeah. Those were like the black ones were like 3 years old, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't have a date on it. I laminated it, but it doesn't have a date on it.
Are you sure it's not in the? It's like because I swear like some of the digits on there are 2022 and 2024 or something maybe.
Let's see. Cody's is 6'9" and his is gold. So it must be even before that.
Yeah, the gold one is okay. So the first on the credit card is the year. So the black one is 2022.
Yep.
But then it's like 426.9, and then you're supporting number.
It's the bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So have you guys made your public gym there where you and Cody both train at Ode Haugen's gym, the hall, right? Is it the hall? What's the name of it?
The training hall, yeah.
Training hall. Okay. So have you talked him into making that a certified training facility yet?
It is in fact a certified.
Hell
awesome.
Yeah!
How did that conversation go? Because does Ode actually like still manage like the day to day, or does he have like another like someone that's not 80 help him kind of run it?
Did you guys just walk in with a flag and be like, "This goes up now"?
Almost. So there is the joke. We love Ode, but he's A, an old man, and B, he's Nordic, like he's English is a second language and whatnot. So he has a very thick accent and like old man accent. So we joke that he speaks Odish, and you kind of just like learn it. It's like being in New York and like speaking subway conductor. Like you kind of pick up on it. So I believe Cody was like, "Hey, like, can we do this?" And this was like, "Oh, sure." Like taking that as a yes. Okay.
That's awesome. I love it. So Cody actually like had to bring in his own like would you like he had to apply it to the wall himself somehow too. It wasn't just like, "Here, can you put this up for us?" It was like, "Well, we'll just put it up on the wall somewhere."
Yeah, there's flags and stuff hanging all around the gym.
Nice.
And so we found a good spot where it's like in a squat rack. So
Oh,
sometimes it'll be like behind our videos and stuff, which
That's
I like.
actually really good. Yeah, I kind of need to like. I wish I could like rearrange all my stuff, but some of the stuff's like just been there forever, and like some of the it's really hard to get shit to stick to basement walls sometimes. So like if I have ones that are stuck, like I don't want to move stuff because it's just gonna rip all the paint off behind on the concrete, and it's not worth it. But I don't know. Mine shows up in a lot of the videos, but not as much as I'd like it, I guess. But that is a really good story. I enjoyed that. He was just like, "Oh, we're just gonna put it up." I love it. So before you got on this episode, we obviously sent you a questionnaire, and you had a handful of people fill it out for us. Other than Cody, who would have already known, how did you explain, what you needed them to do, and just like Massonomics and unpaid and underrated, and why you were getting interviewed? Was that did you have any funny conversations with people with that?
I mean, it wasn't too bad because a lot of like Cody and I obviously have a lot of similar friends, so I think he had a good chunk of them fill it out for him too. So they were a little like, "Oh yeah, okay, like this thing." But I did have one of my friends from college where I was like, "Hey, like I'm gonna be on this thing," and she's like, "Done, got it." Like she was just so into it. And it's one of the reasons I love her, where she like doesn't ask questions and is just like, "Yes, absolutely."
That's awesome. One of our upcoming guests had a little something like that too. So Big Jake is going to be on podcast the next month or so, I think, maybe the next couple weeks. I'm not sure. And he already DM'd me back, and it's already had like 5 or 6 people submit, even though I just sent him the questionnaire like a couple days ago. And he's like, "Yeah, one of my friends like literally subscribed and listened to like 3 episodes before he submitted the questionnaire." I'm like, "That's wild." Like,
Yeah.
no clue who we are. Like, I don't think he said he subscribed, but regardless, like you probably subscribed if you listened to 2 or 3 episodes. Pretty awesome. But I just thought that was great, and that's cool that your friend was so just on it. All right. I'm gonna hit us with our first game here. So a little segment, if you're not familiar with it. It's gonna be least fun, most fun for you. So I'm gonna give you one topic, and you can talk and expand as little or as much as you want to explain essentially the least fun and the most fun thing about it. So I'm gonna hit you with being a teacher. What do you consider the least fun thing about it, and then what's the opposite of that as far as the most fun?
Least fun is when the kids are just straight up apathetic. Where like you're just trying so hard to like make sure that they're like no, like this is important. Like you should know this. It's not just for a grade and whatnot. And they're just like, I can deal with like not getting it. It's really hard to deal with they didn't do anything because they just don't like there's nothing there.
Yeah. What
So that's definitely
what
least
grade
fun.
do you teach? Sorry, just so we can get a better
I
perspective on
teach
that.
9th and 12th.
Okay.
Oh, those are the most apathetic years.
Yeah. Most fun is the kids who are into it, and especially one of the classes that I teach is a Harry Potter class, and so a lot of times the kids that are in that class, there's a little bit more of a buy-in, and so we're able to do still the same standards and whatnot, but do it in a way that is usually like a little bit more buy-in and just like absolute ridiculousness. And every now and then you get kids that say like they're so accidentally funny. And I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that, like, especially for English, it's something different every single day. Like I don't go in, like, even if I'm teaching the same curriculum each year, every single class period is going to be different every single year. They're going to interpret it differently. And so I really appreciate that kind of change.
Very
That's awesome.
good. The accidental funny thing. So, I was telling you that the shirt I'm wearing, I literally just took another shirt off to put this one on, or vice versa, right? And I threw this one in the back seat. The one I put on was my Huck Finn Wrong Again shirt. Okay. So I put it on.
I can't wait for his episode tomorrow of him talking shit about Tanner again. That's gonna be great.
I put it on, and my wife goes, haha, wrong again. My 3-year-old, unprompted, yells, wrong again, Joey. She's 3.
That was a good video.
And I was like, excuse you, but like she's just repeating what she's heard so many times. She doesn't know how funny that is, but like to just hear it from your kid and you're just like, excuse you, little girl. So I said, can you say that again? But by that point she's in performance mode because she's 3. So she did it completely different. But the first time, unprompted, wrong again, Joey. I'm like,
that's great.
How dare you? First of all, second of all, that was really funny. Good work.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah. Speaking of kids being hilarious accidentally, here's a new one I started. I don't know how many you've listened to from the past like 4 or 5 weeks. You're about to go for a big lift, whatever lift it is. Pick your favorite lift. Who is the hype person that you wish, dead, alive, past, present, anybody?
Yes, I put a lot of thought into this because I was like, I had like my real person in the gym answer.
Yep.
And so we call him Skippy, and I love hearing Skippy. Like he lives in Australia right now, but like he was one of my favorite people to like hype up. But in a fictional world, I want Geoffrey Chaucer, specifically from A Knight's Tale, the movie. I want him to hype me up.
Which character?
Have you not seen A Knight's Tale?
No,
I have. I'm just trying to remember who it is.
The announcer.
The announcer guy, the ones that does the poems.
Yeah, like the bard, right?
He's like, he spent a year in silence just to better understand a whisper.
That's a good answer. That's a very unique answer.
I want him.
I think you might be the first person to actually put good thought into this too, so that's great.
And you know what? Those are the answers I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, as this evolves, that's going to get better. Yeah. Thank you, Scar, for taking that leap and jumping in to make it like, that's definitely the direction I want this to go.
Yeah, it's just going to get traction now that more people will hear about it. So that was our, another, us both explaining it there, David. Good for you. All right, I got a couple questions from the Instagram because everyone gets mad because I never actually ask them because 90% of them are just telling me that Scance is old. But I had a couple good ones this week. So, the couple good ones will follow.
No, you're right. Like that's
the couple good ones will come after mofos here. So, big mofo, Southern Californian neighbor there to you wanted to know if you're brainwashed into Cody's birds aren't real conspiracy.
I've heard that a few times. I'm not going to question what makes someone so happy.
Oh.
Birds just make people happy, and it makes my husband extremely happy. So, or not, it's like telling a little kid not to, play with their imaginary friends.
I think I read that wrong too. So I'm glad you heard it the right way, and I think I said aren't real, and it was clearly are real. So if I butchered that for the audience, it was definitely are real. All right.
So do you remember? I don't know if you were even paying attention. We were all sitting on the patio at the American, and everybody was talking, and then a bird started chirping really loud.
You guys pulled out the app.
And both me and Cody made eye contact. Like, what is that? And we both pulled out the app. Like, like it was really funny. I'll always remember that moment because everybody was talking so seriously, and both me and Cody were like, "What was that?" Everything stopped around us. Yeah, like. Go ahead, Keith.
I got a good one here from I think it's must be one of your personal friends, World's Mattiest Strongman. I'm not sure if you know. Okay, so they wanted to know, instead of the hardest, what's the easiest thing about being a female strength athlete? And I thought this was actually a very good question. It's probably the best question ever submitted via Instagram. So, what's the easiest thing about being a female strength athlete?
Every now and then, I would say like, not for overhead, but especially deadlifts. They tend to go real light on the deadlifts because they have no idea. And I'm referring primarily to strongman. The directors have no idea what an appropriate weight is. So for deadlifts, I can get like 20 to something reps on a deadlift. So that's pretty lovely.
Nice. We'll get into a little strongman talk later on too when we'll talk about how you're thinking the lift hard is going to go for you. But last one from Instagram, Andrew Garrison basically was asking, he saw something on your story or Instagram recently about how you have students that like to always pack up early, and you made them do some squat, hold a squat. Yeah, just tell us that story, I guess.
Yeah. Every now and then, the kids start packing up early, and like I'm not like one of those sticklers. It's like I don't just miss you, or like the bell doesn't just miss you, I just miss you. Like it's not like that. But like these kids were packing up real early, and so I've kind of joked with them before, and I was like, you guys, like you still have like 2 minutes left. Like that's a long time. And so I was like, you're going to realize just how long a time that is. So if you guys want to pack up early, then we're going to hold a squat for that amount of time. So they tried to like put their backpacks down. I was like, no, you packed up. You have to hold it. So they had their backpacks on and are in a squat. And I'm like, get down lower. Like you can do it. And they're like, some of them are like fully like in the zone in their mind. Some of them are having to totally cheat. Some of them can't do it at all. And they're like, what is happening? I was like, we still have 45 more seconds. And they're like, no. And I was like, yeah, this is what happens when you pack up early. And I'm doing it with them, of course.
Yeah.
Which is kind of just, it was pretty funny. And they got a good, like, I definitely have enough of a rapport, had enough of a rapport with that class that I know that I can get away with that kind of stuff and that they'll like giggle through it.
I got a quick follow up on that. Basically, are you more jacked than any of the coaches and the athletic instructors at the school?
Yes, it's the history teacher, isn't it?
There's a history and the math teacher. There's a lot of teachers that are coaches and stuff. I would say I probably have the most knowledge in the weight room. But there are a few. There's 2 female PE teachers that are very strong in their own way. Like one of them is like a yoga swimmer, and like during lunchtime she goes into the pool and like swims laps and stuff. And she's kind of badass in her own way. That's completely different. But yeah, with like weights, it is kind of cool being the teacher that lifts, because I'll have students that are not mine at all, and they'll just come in and it'll be like a female who's like, how do I like get started? And like just ask questions. I've had students come in and be like, creatine. Like, okay. So yeah, that's pretty cool that they at least trust me enough to come in, or I must look at least relatively jacked enough that like they're like, okay, yeah, believe her.
That's awesome. Any chance you get to steer kids in the right direction is commendable to me.
Yeah.
All right. Funny nicknames. Nah, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not reading that essay. What do you got there, Keith? Anything?
So what got you? So, we obviously, strongman, powerlifting background, done some CrossFit. Just walk us through your whole fitness journey if you want, real quick. A lot of people like, hearing and talking about that, just because, we are
Sure.
athletic adjacent over here.
The number one urban podcast.
Yeah, so I was a very competitive soccer player, and then I tore my ACL, and then I worked my ass off to rehab, and then I tore my other ACL.
Oh man, who are you, Big Tanner?
Yeah, I like to joke like the OCD just kind of kicked in and it had to be symmetrical.
Oh no, I shouldn't have laughed at
that. No, and I shouldn't make that joke. I'm not OCD.
But
I shouldn't make that joke, but yeah.
It's so true though.
So yeah, I tore both ACLs and kind of was just sad, and I had wanted to get a little more into strength training because I was like, there's no way that I'm 18 years old and like this is my life now. Like I can't do anything. I went on a snowboarding trip and was like, this is the most miserable thing to ever exist. And I didn't want to be that. And so then I was supposed to start strength training with a guy, and then he was in the military and he ended up moving away, and I was like, dang it. And then I don't know, maybe a couple months later I started dating Cody, and he's like, I could show you. And it ended up being really great, although I like to joke that like I missed out on the like douchey figure it out phase, because I had Cody like there to like be like, oh, I already made all those mistakes. I got you. Let's just start where it gets good.
Nice.
So I started lifting. I started enjoying it. He was so like, I don't want to pressure you, but like,
Yeah, it's a fine line
you know,
for sure.
yeah. No, it was great. And we've been able to be like, okay, coach hat versus, you know, boyfriend, husband hat. And so, yeah, I started lifting, tested out some maxes, was like, dang, I'm really strong. And, then about a year into lifting, did my first powerlifting competition. And then maybe 2 years later, we started working out at the hall. And when you're there, it's just people are doing some cool stuff. And so you're like, what's a yoke? And so then you kind of just start playing around with stuff. I got a little into strongman there and grip there and moss wrestling there. And then, yeah, kind of was hitting a little bit of a funk, just feeling unmotivated with stuff. And so then I started doing CrossFit as well. So now I kind of go back and forth between the training hall and the CrossFit gym, CrossFit 1000, and that's been great.
A lot of variety there. What kind of time? So how, if you don't mind, how old are you?
33. I just turned 33.
Okay, so then Jesus, so you were talking. She's basically you got into training when you met Cody, essentially. So was there a gap because you said you tore your both the ACLs when you were about 18, or well, I guess your first one was 18. So I was trying to figure out like what that timeline looked like and how long you've been.
Yeah, pretty much just college. I was just a little cardio bunny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's awesome.
So I know that Moss means more.
But what is
Russian? Okay, yes. Yeah, so what's more wrestling? What
it's
last week's episode sounded like fucking more wrestling.
Yeah. It's sport from like a small, like it's originated in like this small Russian country, like or culture. Moss meaning stick. So you have your feet up on the board. There's a stick. You either have the outside grip or the inside.
Okay,
grip,
I've seen it.
And then you fight over the stick. So it's kind of like horizontal judo
or tug of war.
Yeah,
but harder.
Just a lot more angles and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right.
It's really
look at me using the wrong language here.
No, it was a good guess.
So you did strongman at the Lift Hard last year, right? Or did you do powerlifting?
No, I did
powerlifting last. Okay, you did strongman last year, and what are you doing this year then?
I'm doing powerlifting this year.
Okay. Were you trying to get on strongman, or did you want to do powerlifting?
No, I wanted to do powerlifting.
Nice. Yeah, it's a little very easier to train for, definitely.
Yeah, well, the strongman I only did because I couldn't get into the powerlifting because I was also adjacent or whatever crew adjacent at the time, and they just can always use more female strongmen, and so I had to go up against Lacey and Megan, and they were amazing.
Yeah, it was a stacked
class. I will happily
sure.
take third.
Nice. So you're definitely coming back this year. That's good. How was we want to mostly hear about you, but I did want to. The funny thing is, when Cody went to go sign up, he missed. His weight class was sold out for strongman, so he's competing in the 220 and above. Or is it 270? Well, yeah, it's like 221 to 270 is his class right now, and Cody's like 210 or maybe. Well, how big is Cody right now?
He is a fluffy 215 right now, or like around there.
I didn't think he was even at the lowest threshold, so that's great. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully he has he been busting his ass to hit those to actually, because obviously anyone that's not familiar in strongman, when it's by weight classes, outside of novice, which is just a little more entry level for people that have only done like 10 strongman shows or so. Strongman is basically like you have 3 to 4 weight classes, give or take, depending on the director. Obviously, the lighter guys will have to lift lighter weights, but it's not just, you don't get to pick your weights like you do in powerlifting. You literally have to go and pick up the 500-pound implement, or you get a 0. So Cody's gonna have to pick up some really big weights against some fucking guys that are 50 pounds bigger than him. So, good luck to you, sir.
Yeah. I mean, he's been trying, he's been training. I've mostly seen him
been trying. That's my favorite.
I would say the trying hasn't been like for his training. The trying has just been like with the implements at our gym and trying to set up. But yeah, I've just been seeing him kind of practice with the axle. And so that's coming along. He's usually had a pretty good overhead because has some like Olympic training stuff where you can get under the bar really well.
Do you guys train to get like, so I know you go to the same gym but now you're doing more CrossFit stuff, but when you guys do train, do you kind of both just go in and do your own thing because you might not be in the same split, or are you like adamant, you're like, let's work in together, let's train together kind of thing?
We end up working out a lot together. It might not be because the hall we don't really need to share stuff. It might be that like he's in front of my squat rack or something, but for the most part, yeah, we'll go in together, especially like on weekends or things like that. And he's been doing CrossFit with me as well. So
that's why he's only 215. He lost all his gains.
So
no, he's yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and redirect this away from the person that's not on the podcast.
I know.
And
I was about to.
I want to talk about what is bookbinding.
Oh, Cody just got me this for my birthday, so I'm really excited for it. I am not a crafty person by nature, but I'm hoping that I can't mess this one up too bad. Basically, it's like you go to Barnes and Noble and you get your book and the book is what it is. Bookbinding is where you can like take the cover off or whatever and like make a new cover that's pretty.
Oh, that's
so being able to like say you got like a paperback or something like from Goodwill, you'd like rip the cover off of that, create like a cardboard like hard front to it, and then you can use like pretty leather and gold filigree and all kinds of really, I've seen some really cool, I've gone down a rabbit hole of some crazy Instagram and TikToks of.
Have you done one yet, or is this still all a hypothetical? No. I need to get to it project.
I literally just got the kit maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. It was a birthday present, and today is my first day of summer break, so I've been in survival mode of like finals the past couple days, so that has not been on my register at all.
Gotcha.
But soon, and I will hopefully like I said, not mess it up too bad and can make something cute.
It is shocking that came up so many times considering it's so new. What is huffing cats?
Gotta be smelling cats, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, it's just like, hold on, I'm trying to see if I can grab one of them. But it's like, you come home and you like pick them up and it's just like like you just like
I do that.
Nope.
Yeah, right?
Nope, don't get it. Appreciate it, but don't get it.
Yeah.
Definitely do that from time to time. It is a very calming anti-stress.
Yes.
That sounds like you're not allergic to cats.
Well, no,
I wouldn't have them if I was.
I did. You just deal with it.
Yeah.
I love you, little dangerous carnivore. I will put up with this for a while.
Yes. Who's a little vicious killing machine?
Yeah. If I died, you would eat me, wouldn't you? Yes, you would.
I would hope so. They're gonna be good.
I love this one. You basically had an ongoing bucket list since you were a kid. Like, that's wild. Like,
what's on it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's on it? And what have you checked off? Yeah.
I mean, I've checked off stuff like buying a house and getting married and gone skydiving, certain places I wanted to travel to. Yeah, every like New Year's Eve, I kind of go through it and see like, what have I done this year that I can cross off?
That's awesome.
So one of them was working. I went to a summer camp growing up and I was a third generation there. And so I went, like, as a kid, I knew I wanted to go back and work there. And so being able to go back and work at that camp, and I was able to cross that one.
You've been skydiving, and that didn't show up on the notes. Are you our first skydiver?
Cody's gone skydiving.
I imagine.
Did we talk about it?
I don't know. I've only been like the one, like, I'm not like a skydiver. Like, I'm not, that's not like a hobby of mine. I don't
listen to free falling constantly.
My dad and I had talked about it when I was younger, and we said that we would go for his 50th birthday, and so we went.
All right, so that takes out the bucket list thing. All right.
What's the next thing you want to do off your bucket list, or what's the most realistic one you think that's like?
One that's coming up that Cody and I, so we bought our tickets is to go to New Zealand.
Oh, dope.
So we bought our tickets for New Zealand, and that's a big one as far as like travel.
Ooh, can you do the Bluey tour and send me photos?
I did not realize there was a Bluey tour. I know everyone always talks about like Lord of the Rings, and which is also not like huge on our like that's not why we're going.
Also, but like, is Bluey New Zealand or is it Australia? I'm pretty sure it's New
Australia, but I don't know.
Okay, all you have to do is go to a Hammer Barn, take a selfie, and send it to me. I'll be excited.
Will do.
All right.
We'll add that.
Yeah, I just want one Hammer Barn. That's all. Go ahead, Keith.
To the itinerary.
Millennial Music Monday. Is that where you make your students listen to the music of your youth?
Yes.
Nice.
So I have a playlist that's like 250 songs long. I just go to a randomizer. It chooses a song. I play a song for them and then pause it, and they have to finish the lyrics. And if they finish the lyrics, then they get a brownie. So I have brownie points in my class. And like if they fill up the tray with brownies, then I bake brownies and bring them in for the class.
Oh, nice.
So that's one of the ways that they can. So it would be, something like Mr. Brightside or something like that. And I would pause it like right before where it would, goes into like jealousy. And so like you pause it and they have to finish the lyric. Cause like, otherwise they would just like Shazam it and be like, oh, that's Mr. Brightside by the, like, no, that doesn't count. You need to know the song. You need to know it in your heart. So yeah, that's usually a pretty fun one. Some of the kids get really into it. Like if you don't like start Monday morning, they'll be like, excuse me, it is Monday. And yes, it is.
You're right. Correct. It is. Okay. What do you got, Keith? Anything?
Under hobby, someone put Marshalls. Is that the store? Is that what it was like? Yes. You just like going to Marshalls and someone put that as a hobby? That's great.
I think I might have put that as a hobby. Yes. Going to Marshalls and like, because in our like little shopping centers, Marshalls and Home Goods are right next to each other, and they're the same company, same credit card. And so yes, just perusing through there and like spending way too long on Marshalls or TJ Maxx.
It's very easy to do. Yes.
And like so Cody has now started to play the game of take a shot of whiskey before we go. So he'll take a shot and then go to Home Goods with me, and then he's much happier. And we've started playing some of the games of like, guess how much the price is, or like, you see like the obscure thing where it's like a big like frog meditating with a cowboy hat, and you like go up and be like, excuse me, I'm looking for like an amphibian that like, is like a little bit country, but a little bit like, like basically like Willie Nelson in frog form. And you're like, oh yes, right here. And so we'll play that game.
That's wild. So I hear are you a movie buff, and do you like ranking movies and or having a list of the best movies of something along those lines?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say like a movie buff, because that makes it sound like my favorite movie is Godfather. But like it's more along the lines of like understanding what a perfect movie is.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had like this conversation with multiple people about what is a perfect movie. And like, we're not talking about a cinematic masterpiece, because that's completely different, right? That's like your Schindler's List and things like that. Schindler's List is not a perfect movie. Beautiful and will make you cry and stuff. But like a perfect movie needs to have great character development, great visual, great soundtrack, make you feel an array of emotions. So laugh, cry, think, but also good rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Batman Begins.
Batman Begins is a pretty good choice. I could see that.
Like I think if that's the description, is it my favorite Batman movie? No, but like I think I would put that in there with that description.
So we talked about A Knight's Tale earlier. A Knight's Tale is a perfect movie.
It's a good movie.
Except for the stupid school. Anyway, yep. That's the part where they suddenly are in medieval times and know the Queen song. It ruins the whole movie for me.
The David Bowie song. No, it's great.
Yeah, you got me on
The
that
whole
one.
movie was full of like rock and roll songs and stuff. And
Yeah, like the fact that they're doing the "We Will Rock You" at the beginning and stuff, and it's a part of it. Like, oh, I love it.
I know, but for me, it takes me out of the experience. It ruins the effective response. So I couldn't do that for that. I love the movie. But for some reason, all I can think about is just like, he took me out. And nobody's dying of plague.
Have you seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course I have. Yep.
That is a perfect movie.
Agreed. Yep.
I love that movie. It's funny. The soundtrack, like the song when he leaps off the building, that's my walkout song. Like that is one of my favorite. I'm gonna hit a PR right now songs. It's visually stunning, both that and the sequel, where I literally verbally said "whoa."
Yep. It's having Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's.
John Mulaney as the pig. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good. Keith, what would be your ideal Glaze rated like
I don't
movie
know, man.
that fits all of those structures?
Get back to me. I don't know.
So maybe to help you, because that's a 10 out of 10 movie, but there's also 7 out of 7 movies.
Oh, we were going to get into that.
Yeah,
so explain that one. Yeah.
Let's segue to that.
So a 7 out of 7 movie, and I did not come up with this. This was like some random person on Instagram, but Cody and I have adopted it. So 7 out of 7 movie is like, it's not a perfect movie, but it's perfect for what it is.
Okay. I got you.
So like,
it's like a good bad, or it's a good mediocre movie.
Elf is a 7 out of 7.
Sure. I don't think I've ever watched it.
Like a good chick flick might not be like a 10, it's not going to be a 10 out of 10, but it's a 7 out of 7.
I like that logic.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to sway my my IMDb Glaze ratings, because like I'm instilled in what I rate stuff, but I do like that logic. If it's like, it's a really good in its will.
There's a cat. There's a cat.
There's an orange
kitty. Cat.
What's that one's name?
This is Jolene.
Oh, don't take my man.
Jolene.
Yeah, because she has auburn hair and she'll steal your man. That's exactly it.
That's what's Slappy Chair?
That actually has to do with Jolene, and she's in it right now. I know it's not great for the podcast, but just to show you guys. So she just sits in the chair and she just loves like
butt slaps.
Yeah, it's just slaps.
Mine would have already freaked out if I did that.
If you stop, she'll like.
Yeah, what is this? What is this? All right, same Jolene.
She'll like bite at you, and yeah,
that's cute.
Just be mad at you for stopping. But yeah,
same,
she loves a good sloppy chair.
I'm glad I asked what that was. How many cats do you guys have?
We have 2. So that one, and then you guys saw on the last time with the podcast, Dixie was just kind of like chilling on my lap. She's a lot more like floppy.
Like, yeah, that makes sense. Describing a cat as floppy.
Yeah, Jolene goes into nuggy form, like she tenses up, and Dixie will kind of like flop. But they're both named after powerful, like country kind of stuff.
I just highlighted a word, Keith, and I'm interested to hear how you say it.
I didn't. Pedagogy.
Close.
I don't do pedagogy. Pedagogy. I don't know.
Oh. It took me a second to figure out what he was trying to say. I was like, Patagonia? Like, no. Pedagogy.
You teach this? I don't know. Teach me what this word is.
Pedagogy is basically like when talking about a teacher, like a teacher's pedagogy is basically like their style, their ethics, their like way of. So what is your like your form of?
Gotcha. You had mentioned earlier you literally teach a Harry Potter class. So is this like, are you in a public school or just more of a private school? Because I like what Harry, and just like that's just like an elective of Is it because it's through?
It's
English?
not an elective.
Nope, it's their senior year English class.
That's wild.
Mythology, metaphor, and symbolism.
I mean, I guess I had my senior year, literally, I think we spent fucking like 80% of it talking about Beowulf. So, I mean, this would be more relevant than fucking.
Exactly. It's the same because I've taught both regular English 12 and the Harry Potter class in the same year. And a lot of times it's the same assignment. It's just with completely different texts that are happen to be more fun, and there's a continuity to it.
Really
How much of it is replaceable with Star Wars?
I would need to read it, but I could probably teach the exact same thing. Like again, it's the skill,
have you ever heard the argument?
Literature.
Of course, that's pedagogy.
Well, I mean, all of it is Beowulf. It all goes back to
it does.
To Beowulf.
But have you ever heard that comparison that Star Wars and Harry Potter are the same story?
Yep, same thing with Stranger Things.
Yep. Yeah, you got the orphan, the uncle, the
and those are all archetypes,
wizard,
though, that are. And we start the year going over the archetypes, where you have the hero, and their first essay is on the hero's journey, and it all kind of relates. But the skills are, it's so much deeper than just that, because
of course,
like they're still doing the Englishy skills, so like book 3, we have a mock trial, and we use California law to put Sirius Black on trial, and they like have to research the laws and make their arguments. And
that's so funny, because that was my next question, because in university that's what I would do in cultural studies. You would get like your fiction, which would be like the Beyond the Sargasso Sea, and then you would get like the structure, and then you would have to take those two and combine them, right? So you would get like your bell hooks. Okay, how does bell hooks go along with this? So that's so cool. They're doing that in grade 12 in California.
Yeah,
I didn't get that till second year university.
Right. And so the same thing where like I noticed I did not write an essay that didn't have a prompt until college.
Mm-hmm.
Like so much of it is like, okay, like, the book 1 essay, like how does Harry go through the hero's journey? And so you just rephrase the thesis, and you're like, Harry goes through the hero's journey by blank, blank, and blank. Like, I was so used to that. And then I got to college where they're like, write about something. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like,
I can do
whatever.
that.
And so, book 6 is write about something. And so you get really cool essays that are, everything from like how a mother's love transforms the morality of a person, to like the importance of friendship versus followers, to like the importance of a name and what a name means, to like, blood status, and like all kinds. It's really, really kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's dope. Yeah, it was one of those things, again, like in university, go ahead and write something, and you're like, I can just do that? Like, you're allowed, and I ended up published because of that, so that's really fun. Yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd. I just don't bring it up here a lot.
Yeah. So you had mentioned you guys live near a zoo. What animals have you stolen from the zoo?
Yes, I highlighted that. I'm interested in that story. And was it a Komodo dragon?
No, those even behind the glass, I'm like he knows, he can smell me. Like I'm so freaked out by them. So we do live near a zoo. It's the Moore Park Zoo. It's actually a really cool, I don't know why you guys would, but if you ever come out to Southern California to visit, there's like the big
Tanner and Tommy did. Why shouldn't we? We'll take this on the road.
But they didn't even come to like us.
Sons of bitches.
But they there's the LA Zoo, which obviously a huge zoo and whatnot. And there's also the Moore Park Zoo, which is a really cool zoo, because if you want to go into animal training, they're one of like 2 programs in the nation that teaches exotic animal training and stuff. So they have like tigers and whatever monkey stuff. But I did steal something from the LA Zoo. We went to brew at the zoo, which was like they closed the like park down for like whatever, and you have alcohol and you walk around.
Yeah, we have one of those.
And so as we're leaving, may have been a little on the tipsy side, but as they're leaving, they had like a little spot for you to like take photos, and they had like prop animals. And so I took a snow leopard, it's like this big, and I start like walking out with it, and Cody's like, you can't do that. And I was like, I'm holding it here. I'm not hiding it. If they want to stop me, they will. And so I'm like walking out holding it, and no one stopped me. And so Stuart lives with us now.
Stuart, like it.
This is mine now.
Yes. The cats don't like him very
much. Tell me about Grandma
at
the wedding.
So like I said, it was a perfect day. The one almost mishap, and I think that's why it's so great, is because it didn't quite happen. So Cody and I standing up, we're getting married. It's all outdoors. And we had a falcon deliver our rings. And so the falcon flies up. Our friend Nicole catches it, gets the rings, yay. And she's about to fly the falcon back to the person who's going to catch him at the end of the aisle. Cody's grandma showed up late.
Oh no.
And walked in just kind of like, I wonder where it could be. Like not paying attention at all, and is about to go directly into the in line of where this falcon is about to hit her, like right in the face. And I love it because you can see photos of like our bridal party, like you can see it on their face as because all the guests can't see it because they're all facing forward, but the bridal party standing up there can all see it, and we're all just like, and our wedding coordinator had to basically kind of tackle her and pull her out of the way.
Poor grandma.
So as we yay, we got married, and we walk back down the aisle, she's comes, brings us drinks and is like, hey guys, yay, that was beautiful. Sorry I had to tackle grandma. And we're like, no, it was fine. It was great. So yeah, shout out to Kaylin, our coordinator. She was amazing. And
shout out to grandma getting tackled.
Yeah, she was not happy. She was like, I am the grandmother of the groom. And she's like, I don't care. You're about to have feathers all up in your face.
What is the charge? Lady. Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Okay, cat in the bathroom we've already covered. Ponytail squat fail. I feel like I know where this story's going, but I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had, they say for girls to make sure that you have your hair in a bun or a hood over it. And I've fallen victim to that, where I ditched a squat and it pulled me down by my ponytail. And
did we ever see a video of that? I can't remember if is that something
I
you
don't
shared?
think so.
Okay.
I don't have a video. I did have actually a video of it. I never posted it, but I did post afterwards some pictures, because one of the things that kind of silver lining in it was instantly after that, I had at the training hall, I had one guy running over, taking my belt off, one guy running over, checking vitals, one guy running and grabbing ice.
That's awesome.
It was so quick of okay, here, how are you doing? What, blah, blah. They made me go to the urgent care to make sure I didn't have a concussion.
Shit.
I was like, no.
That bad, eh?
I did not. The problem is sometimes your body will go into what's called vasovagal syndrome, which is where your body just kind of shuts down. So it happens to me after I get shots, where I just kind of faint a little. And so that was kind of starting to happen, where I was really lightheaded, and I was like, no, I'm fine. I didn't hit my head or anything like that. I'm totally fine. And they're like, you're not welcome back here until you go and get checked out.
So you have fainting goat syndrome.
Kind of, just mostly with needles.
It's that.
And it's not even it's not even the look of them. It's the feeling when they go into the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it weird that I watch?
No, I get that. I think that's helpful for some people.
Yeah. It weirds out the nurse, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be like, no, I'm watching. And they're
I just always
don't watch,
alert
dude.
them, where I'm like, hey, doesn't happen every time, but just every once in a while. And they're like, okay. And they'll go get a pillow on a table in front of me. So just in case.
Yeah, so Stephanie has passed out regularly, getting her, multiple times in her life she's passed out. And then also when she gets her blood drawn, it's somewhat common. If depending on where you get your, the phlebotomist stuff, they a lot of times they'll have a bed. If you ask for a different room, they'll actually lay you down, and she's been doing that for the last several years with no issues, versus sitting in the chair. Yeah. So something to keep in mind if you haven't had that opportunity.
I think one of the funniest things ever is Morgan getting a tattoo after her first kid. And she's had several tattoos before. She gave birth and then got a tattoo and got sick. And as she's getting sick, she yells, I had a baby and I can't handle a tattoo. She was so mad at herself.
I definitely I have one like little baby tattoo, and I told the guy too, where I was like, hey, like I've had this before, and he's like, okay, so he did like ... and he's like, let's wait, like good, okay, let's continue, and he was so great. The worst was after my first ACL tear, I was like, oh well, I'm not playing soccer for a little bit, so I'm gonna go get my ears pierced. And passed
What
out
were you
in
thinking?
Claire's. So I passed out in Claire's, and the head of the fire department showed up with a stretcher.
Oh my.
And the next day at school, I got asked if I was trying to rob Claire.
Okay.
Because they just saw the security be like, people walk around, and then they saw me like sitting on a bench, just looking sad.
What's up with your little toenail? Is it anything? Someone wanted us to know about your little toenail, and obviously there's a story.
Sorry, that was so unexpected. There's not a story. It's just really small.
Oh, okay, so it is a little toenail.
It's my like pinky toenail, but it's basically like non-existent.
So when the question was basically when you go get your nails done, so they have to get out like an extra small brush there for you.
A toothpick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they laugh. And
is it just on one foot, or is it
no,
both?
Both.
Yeah,
they're just both super really small. Sorry, that was just not. I was like kind of
just a weird fact
thinking about like what would be brought up. That was not on my radar.
We always like to try to break people at least once too, so that's a good one. I dig it.
Move on to some game.
I got to figure out the sneaking a keg into a winery story, and then yes, we'll definitely go FMK and Rushmore.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one. It was the first of our friend group to have a baby, and so it was the gender reveal party, and they bought a keg for the gender reveal party, and not a lot of people were drinking. On the girl's side, she was the first. On the guy's side, he was like the last. So like all of the guys are like they're like 4 kids and are done, and so we had this whole keg. So we're doing like keg stands and whatnot in the park, and then we're like, shoot, like we still have so much. So we went to it's called Stonehouse. It's like a outdoor like kind of winery sort of thing out here, and so we go to Stonehouse. Kegs in the truck, and we're sitting in this outside section, and we got our wine and everything. We're like, I think we can time it. We're like, we can go get the keg and bring it back. So a couple of the guys went and got the keg, bring it into the back of like the winery in this like little corner. And so we're sitting there filling it up as we're going, but there's still just so much left. Because like no one drank any at the gender reveal, so we're just making friends and like being as creepy as possible, where we're like seeing people be like, hey, you like beer? And like follow me. And so bringing them to the back of this winery, but we can't call too much attention to ourselves. So but we're also not letting them just pour a beer and walk away. We're making them do keg stands.
Of course.
So they're doing keg stands, but like we're cheering them on, but we can't cheer too loud. So we'd be like, oh, Joey,
yeah. Can I say, I think the best part of that is, hey, do you like beer? We just came from a gender reveal, and nobody drank this beer. Yeah, you want in on it? Like,
but everyone was like, yeah,
it's like
okay.
It's definitely just beer. We brought this to a gender reveal about a baby, and nobody drank this.
What's also great is because you got like the 21, 22-year-old bros who are like, they don't want to be drinking the wine there, but they're just there because that's where everyone is. Yeah. But then there's also next to it, there's like a club that opens up a little later. So you got like, and it's very much like a cougar-y kind of place. Mm-hmm. So you got the like 50-something-year-old women in like leopard print that are like, I'll do a keg stand. I'm still fun. And you're like, okay, cool. Let's go, Debbie.
All right.
Okay, I thought I heard a good title in there.
There's been a bunch that I've
leftover. I think it was leftover keg from a gender reveal. I think that's really funny.
Macy will be pleased. Also, can I just say the kid that came out of that has one of like he's got to be cool because his name is right.
That's unique. Like I don't know if that's a.
I feel like has gotten really high on the like baby list names, but
Yeah, but like that kid's gonna be a demon hunter. Like that's
right,
his only option
professional
in
baseball
life.
player, something. Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
is that name gonna get him made fun of, or is it gonna be like cool? Like that's what I always
like,
for
worry
the first
about
little
with,
bit,
like,
he'll get made fun
obscure
of.
names like
Yeah,
that.
but then he'll get into anime and realize he's the coolest guy in the world.
Well, I think we hit a lot of good highlights here. We could probably roll into a little. We got a couple games, if that's all right with you, Scar.
yeah, sounds good.
So are you familiar with FMK?
Yes.
So we're gonna give you a few topics here, and you just kind of rank them for us. So had a few good ones submitted. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna pick this one. So FMK. We're gonna go with strongman tacky, lizards, and butter. Don't know what any of these three have to do with each other. I don't know your opinions on them. It was a good submitted one, and I just want to hear.
They all
why.
help. They all help on axles.
No, they all are things that I like can't touch.
Okay.
Like I.
Oh wow, so this is gonna be a tough one for you.
Yes, I hate. At there's a video that Cody took at the Lift Hard Live Easy last year where I was trying to like hype myself up to touch like to get the tacky.
Tacky
and I
sucks.
like couldn't do it. It's like watching like someone try to like jump off of a cliff, like where they're like
Yeah. Yep.
like I just couldn't quite do it. And same thing, I was house sitting for my parents and they have 2 cats and the cats had brought in a lizard and the lizard was still alive and I could not for the life of me get the like courage to grab it and throw it out. So there's like, I don't know, an hour or so like segment of me like putting pillows in a row to try and lead him outside. And oh, it was bad. Okay.
Tacky lizard buzzers.
Yeah,
butter.
I'm killing
so butter's
Butter's the
what's
same
butter?
kind of thing where it's just like if it gets on you, it's so oily that even when you wash your hands, like it still feels like it's on you, and I just don't like it.
So you can't touch butter, but so you don't eat butter either then?
No, like that's fine. I just like I can put like butter on toast or something, but if I see someone like I'll
when do you see people? I mean, I guess if you're like in an old timey place and they're churning butter at like Renaissance fair or something, like where else are you? I don't know.
No, just like when just
right,
just
well.
too much. I can't.
Is this one you think I can go to a different one if you don't think you can FMK?
No, it's fine. I'm gonna kill the lizard for sure. Because that one was definitely the hardest. I can eventually like touch tacky or touch butter, but I could not get myself to touch the lizard. So I'm gonna kill the lizard. I guess I will marry butter because it's probably the most useful in my life. And so then tacky.
Yeah. It's the worst with tacky. Getting tacky off is so much worse. I mean, I guess putting tacky on is hard too if it's cold.
It's like
if it's not the exact, but it's worse when it's I don't know. You can almost never have the perfect tacky. It's either like soupy or it just basically it's almost too liquidy already, or it's just fucking can't even break it apart. So like I've seen people they'll go microwave it for like 10 seconds and then bring it back out. I don't know. I have not mastered the art of getting the right tacky texture, and then the humidity and the heat plays a role in it too. So that's like but that's a good answer. I didn't realize it was going to be that traumatizing for you, but I don't know. Who do you think you didn't submit that, did you? That was probably a big
No,
Cody.
that would have been Cody because he made fun of me for the lizard thing. Time.
Can you butter up a lizard to get the tacky off?
Oh god. Yeah. Well, like I'm trying to think of like the worst way to combine all three of those. So it would be like,
I can't get this tacky off.
Using butter to get the tacky off while trying to
a buttered lizard. Like you would take the lizard, you put butter on its belly, and use it to wipe it off. Yep, a buttered lizard. That's actually a good title.
It's not bad. All right, you got a Rushmore for?
Yeah, reliving trauma here. That's what we do every week.
Thanks, I hate
this game we like to play.
Jeez. Guess I'm gonna Mount Rushmore this. Mount Rushmore. Hey, what are your top tier sitcoms? Mount Rushmore sitcoms, Alien Face optional.
What?
Oh, so there's a running joke that Mount Rushmore has an alien face built into the side.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking you were talking about a sitcom called Alien Face, and I was like, I've never heard of that one. Okay.
Yet.
Gotcha.
Let's write it.
I'm gonna go. I mean, The Office is classic, and that's a good like kind of comfort show. Parks and Rec, if you ignore the first season.
I do love Parks and Rec.
Kind of throwing it back a little bit. I'm gonna go Scrubs.
Oh wow,
one of my like.
It's not that old, damn it. That's like
yeah, no, but I think
but it didn't. But like The Office was like around the same time, and like the kids know The Office, they don't know Scrubs,
and they should. Scrubs was really good. Yep.
Yeah,
I've had like a surgeon tell me like at the time in like the mid 2000s that like Scrubs was the most accurate like at it for at least in his profession or whatever. Just like they just have to have the levity or they'll go fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's got some gems in there. I quote it. I think fairly often.
Did I see something about it getting rebooted maybe or a spinoff or something? I might be completely wrong, but I feel like every show's almost got a reboot. I'll have to fact check that because I know
they're bringing back Malcolm in the Middle.
What?
Oh, yeah, I did see that because the youngest one doesn't. I think the biggest article about that was like the one that played Dewey. Like he's just not an actor anymore, and he doesn't want to be involved in it at all. So they actually recast him with someone that looks like what you would think Dewey would have grown up to look like.
Yeah. So yeah, Office, Parks and Rec, Scrubs, and I feel like there's probably another one, but I'm blanking right now, so I'm gonna go with that one quite often.
I don't think I've watched a single episode.
There's some good lines, and yeah, there's definitely ones that I quote quite often. Yeah, I think it's worth some watching.
I will have a quick like not something relevant to sitcoms. So like I don't know if I knew this or not, and it just shows how ignorant I am about certain things. But someone was talking about, I was listening to a podcast or a radio station or something this morning, and instead of saying sitcoms, they said situational comedy. I was like, fuck, that's what that means. That's that.
Geez.
It's just my like I'm 40 years old, like I'm almost 40, and like I don't think I ever knew that sitcom meant situational.
That's like me with coconuts last week.
I was like,
yeah,
of course it is. Of course it is.
It's obviously. Like looking back now, it's like, oh yeah, I've known that forever. But like in the moment, like I paused while driving, and I was like, fuck, that's one of those things I learned today.
40 years old and just learned the thing I should have known this whole time.
Situational. Good to know.
Yeah. I get really annoyed when it's like that 3-camera sitcom. I think I lose patience with those really quickly. Big Bang Theory is one of them, like where it's just literally just you can tell what it is, but based on the shots, it's just 3 cameras. That's kind of why I don't like Parks and Rec and The Office, because of we've talked about this before on this podcast. I don't like the weird, why are you filming a documentary things? Mm-hmm. And that's just my OCD. Like I need to know, not OCD, to whatever you call it, anxiety, whatever. Like I need to know why you're doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
But definitely, I definitely agree with all of those. Do you have an alien face? Do you have a 5th one that like you would include?
I'm trying to think of like
what's your 7 out of 7 sitcom?
And do we have to start including that in our ratings on the podcast now?
I do love the idea of like a 7 out of 7 for stuff. I'm trying to think because some of the shows that I'm like thinking of where I'm trying to go through, like they're not sitcoms technically.
Which one?
The first one that came to my mind of like a perfect show is Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that's not.
Not at all. The cartoon or the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Netflix did a live action reboot. And
no.
Yeah, I got halfway through it and was like, no, I'm not watching this.
Yeah. And then like Gilmore Girls is another one of my like comfort. Like I just kind of watch it fairly often. But the other one that came to mind, but I haven't. Oh, Ted Lasso.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a sitcom for sure.
I knew I was forgetting a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good call.
Ted Lasso has one of my emotional support couples. Like they're not real, but like I know that if they were
angry whisper guy and annoying British lady.
No, just like if they were to break up, like emotional support, like and Schitt's Creek. Dang it, I'm like now I'm thinking of all of them. Where it's like I know they don't actually exist, but if they were to like break up, I would be devastated.
Who is that?
So
Roy, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Roy and Keely, I do love
angry whisper guy
and the show.
Annoying.
I think they do, yeah.
British girl, Keely, yeah.
But no, but the assistant and his wife.
Oh.
They're such a lovely couple, and I think they're like actually married in real life, but he like has like he's just like, oh, it's my wife, and like they're just so cute.
Oh,
and I appreciate
she's
them.
off screen, isn't she? She's not an on-screen character, I don't believe.
I think she
not
is
very
twice.
often.
Yeah, I
okay.
think she shows up.
But I got you.
Twice.
But like in Schitt's Creek,
holy shit! A giant spider just showed up next to my computer.
Is it a terrifying animal?
No, I want to poke it.
I don't.
But I also like do your thing, bro. Let's move on. Unpaid and underrated. I will tell you, Keith. Most of the ones on the bottom are, I think, underrated. So if you're gonna cycle through those, that's how I sorted those.
I might even just pull out some ones from just like other stuff but I'll circle to them. All right. So unpaid or underrated game we like to play here. You know, we created it, etc. No one else did anything like it. So if you think if you think something is overrated, go ahead and call it unpaid. If you think it's underrated, it's underrated. So the first one I'm going to hit you with, it's near and dear to me. Cheesecake, unpaid or underrated?
It's unpaid.
Oh no, you've never had a good cheesecake.
I don't think cheese belongs in dessert.
It's not. It doesn't. It's not cheesy. It's not. There's no cheese flavor whatsoever. You found if I had some like weird cheesecakes. There's
I've
a million
had
different flavor.
Okay. Exactly.
You tried it,
but I've had so many times where they're like, "Oh, but this one," and I will never. I also will be that person. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe it is this one, and I will try it. The only time that it's ever been like, ooh, this is good, it was like a cheesecake pudding thing. And or like it was like a Jello mix kind of thing, and it had like a graham cracker crust, like little cupcakes with like strawberries on top. That was bomb.
Right. Unpaid or underrated theme parties.
Oh, underrated. I love a good theme party. We tend to throw a lot, like pretty much everything that we do. My friends go in wholehearted, and I appreciate that so much about them. So even our Christmas parties will be themed. So this past year was Christmas in July and December. The previous year was a Christmas, so it was Costco themed. Yeah, I love a good theme. My 30th birthday was Derby 30, so you had to like dress like the Kentucky Derby. I've thrown some good parties in the past. I love a good theme. I love when people commit to a good.
Now, like the only negative I would see to that is like I don't want to be having all these fucking wardrobes in my house, and I don't want to be storing all this shit that might be relevant in 5 years for another party. And I don't know. Are people just buying like the $30 Amazon things and just throwing them away for costumes, or are they just getting really creative with stuff they already have?
I think that's part of it, and I would say a lot of times we try to have themes that like you don't need to like have a costume for, or like you can work with stuff. Now, do I have friends that like will go out and buy stuff? Absolutely, because I did for my bachelorette. It was Millennial Movie Masquerade, so you had to dress as someone from like a millennial movie. Like iconic movie. And so did I have one of my friends get like the full outfit from Pretty Woman and like the full outfit from the Lizzie McGuire movie? Like, yes. But could you also just like one of my friends had a white t-shirt and cut holes in the like boobs and was like, I'm Regina George, and killed it. And that was great. So yeah, I think like the Kirkland Christmas one was more just like you wear comfy clothes. You don't necessarily dress like a Costco. I don't even really know what you do.
They're slightly too big. They're slightly too big. I got a medium, but it fits like a large.
Yeah.
All right. Unpaid or underrated pink starburst.
Underrated. Pink starbursts are the I do a little analogy with my students, and
We
on
heard.
Valentine's Day, I give all of them pink starburst, and the analogy is that like imagine, okay, so like you're a kid and you went trick-or-treating for Halloween and you open up the little 2-pack of starburst, right? And like what's the best like case scenario? It's 2 pinks and you're like, yes, got 2 pinks. Now, the other case is that you open it and you get 2 yellows and you're like, so you throw it back in the pillowcase and you eat all the good candy first. And then you kind of like go to the yellow when like there's nothing else really good. And so I tell them, never let anyone treat you like a yellow starburst. You are a pink starburst. And so pink starburst, both the most delicious and just a good metaphor.
I think, yeah, now that I haven't had a starburst in forever, but that's a fair, like, I don't know. Is that like a common, like, historically people consider the pink starburst the best flavor? It's not just like a Scar opinion.
I think red is the most popular.
Yeah, I would say
cherry, though. I don't like cherry in general.
One around Valentine's Day, you can buy the like pink, like all pink flavored ones. But I do have to because I teach high schoolers. So like you get those like obnoxious kids that'll be like, I like the yellow ones. And you're like, well, shut up. That's not part of the metaphor. You like you need that. So I always have to preface it of like, hey guys, like I'm gonna give you guys like an analogy here. And I need you to go with it. And if you disagree, that's fine. Keep that to yourself. But like, shut up, okay?
Yeah. You will enjoy this and like it.
I like your Patagonias over there.
Patagonias, yeah.
Patagonias. I do like how you've referenced some of your teaching skills. I dig it. All right. Unpaid or underrated. I'm gonna do 4, so I'm gonna do a couple here. Pepperoni.
For the most part, that's unpaid.
I do like pepperoni.
It's usually so greasy and like not cooked well. There is like one pizza place near us where I do like their pepperoni on their pizza, but most of the time I'm gonna like pick it off. It's like bacon when you go to a fast food restaurant where it's just sad and it doesn't belong there.
For the shitty bacon. I had like the perfect breakfast sandwich the other day where like it actually came with so much bacon and it was like fresh and like good and it was just like made it so disappointing for like the occasional time I do get like a fast food breakfast sandwich and it's just like this is trash. All right, so piggybacking off the pepperoni pizza, I guess let's go pineapple, unpaid or underrated. It doesn't have to be in correlation with pizza, but it's just pineapple.
No, I like that you said piggybacking and it was about bacon and pepperoni. It was funny, actually.
Either answer is going to be underrated. Nice. Pineapple is delicious both on pizza and off. I agree. Like, I'm not going to go to like Italy and be like, can I get pineapple? Like that's a different thing. But if I'm at Papa John's, like absolutely pineapple can be on pizza. But yeah, pineapple by itself as one of my favorite foods just in general. And for a very long period of my life, we used to call it an on deck pineapple, where we had one cut up in the fridge and one like on the counter ready to be cut up.
I have one follow up before I hand off the reins to Joey. Do you own a pineapple corer?
No.
It's like the coolest. So like I don't know how much.
Yeah, I've seen
they're so convenient. Actually, I think it doesn't just core it. It also there's probably a better term for it, but it cores it and peels it. You literally just like ram it in it, and then it's the greatest thing ever. Like
I've seen them. I have not. I do not have one. I just cut it like
Cody,
a peasant.
It sounds like you got a you got a good stocking stuffer idea.
Does that thing where you hit the pineapple and then like break them off in little pieces actually work? Has anybody tried that?
I have never tried that. I know like the leaf trick.
Yep.
Where you like pull the leaves, and then I will never forget being in Hawaii as a little kid and this like old Hawaiian woman showing how to like choose, and it was the sound that you flick here should sound the same when you flick a pineapple.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
But that's how I pick my.
I don't buy enough pineapple, I guess.
It's been a while because Cody doesn't eat fruit. So like
Cody doesn't eat fruit?
Not really. He'll eat watermelon, so I have watermelon cut up.
I love watermelon. All right, unpaid or underrated? Murder podcast.
Murder podcast paid.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get into them. I know they're really big with the girlies, and like so many of my friends are so into them, and I tried one and it just started talking. It was for the Zodiac killer because I was like, okay, I've heard of this. Like that should be interesting. And it just started talking about like how people now are married because they went to Zodiac killer meetups. And I was like, okay, we're glorifying this psychopath who killed. I can't get into it.
I saw this one thing, and it was somebody telling a story about how their mother was killed by a serial killer, and somebody started talking about how much they love murder podcasts, and this person said, "Hey, kind of don't love this subject. My mom was killed by a serial killer," and the person was like, "Oh, that must be so interesting. Why don't you get on one of those podcasts?" And like the person just like shut down. Yeah. And it's just like I'm not here to ick anybody's yum or whatever. Yeah, that word.
I get it.
But at the same time, I'm just like I watch documentaries. I don't mind, right? I'm watching the Tylenol killers right now. And that kind of stuff. But you can't normalize that in your life. Like there's an aspect to it that it's creating sociopathy, I guess. Like you can't be so numb to that concept. All right. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I guess that's where I'm going with that. Not for me at all.
I will stick with my like fairy smut audiobooks and be perfectly happy there.
I will stick with my supernatural stuff where ghosts exist and scare you in the dark, because that ain't really happening. Unpaid or underrated? ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is under. Yeah.
How many essays have you got from ChatGPT?
Probably a lot.
0.
Oh, good.
So, there are some really great teacher AI tools, and that can help where like I show my kids be like at the beginning of the year of like, hey, this is what I use. And that pretty much stops it.
Awesome.
Because there's a thing where I can see a play-by-play of their writing.
Very good.
So it will show me if there's big copy and pastes, and then it also will analyze the writing, where it'd be like, this writing pattern was a little weird, where like all of a sudden there was like a bunch of stuff or there wasn't a whole lot, and then there, whatever. So it'll analyze that, and that's kind of helpful. But I show them how we can utilize, because like I show them we do a prompt with ChatGPT, and so we talk about like what is a good prompt to be able to put in there, like what would you type in there, and then they realize like, okay, now let's score it using the rubric, and they're like, oh, this is like, at first they're like, that's so good, and I'm like, okay, but like, did it answer the prompt? And they're like, oh no, it didn't. And I was like, yeah, it said a lot of fluffy words, but it didn't actually answer the prompt. Like, this is a D paper at best. And that's if you got it past me to like, whatever. I was like, now what we can do is, hey, ChatGPT, proofread this. Or, hey, ChatGPT, help me, transition from this to this better. Like, how would you do that or whatnot? So being able to utilize it as a tool, I think of it as like the same ways we should think about calculators now, where it's like, if you had a calculator on a test, you're not going to automatically get all of your answers correct, but it helps. Right? ChatGPT is not going to do the thinking for you, but it can help you. So I think it's just another tool that a lot of teachers get really scared of, and it just needs to be taught properly with them. So I use it in my classroom quite a bit.
I love that answer.
Teaching them how to use it, because they're going to use it in their real life, and like whatever their jobs are going to be, they're going to be using it.
They might be podcast hosts one day, just sitting there on ChatGPT for the entire podcast, getting answers. Unpaid or underrated Halara?
Underrated. I don't know how much you guys know about this. Maybe your wives do. It's just
I took a quick ChatGPT of it.
any girlies that are in any sort of like fitness and like don't like wearing like, real pants, Halara is amazing. Where it's like those athletic dresses that have like the like shorts underneath, but they also have a bunch of other stuff, and it's just become like one of my favorite brands that actually just fits really well. So any of the girlies listening out there, if you haven't, you've gotten like the Instagram ads for it and you're like, oh my God, I keep seeing this. It is actually a good product.
Okay, I guess my last one, unpaid or underrated, the Dixie Chicks.
Dixie Chicks are so one of our cats is named Dixie. And it's not just because like we're like huge Dixie Chicks fans, which I know they go by the Chicks now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you acknowledge that they like shortened it from Dixie to Chicks?
Yes.
Or
we just named Dixie before that, but the reason for it is because the Dixie Chicks, and I'm just gonna refer to them as that for this, like
yes,
for this.
That's who they are.
The Dixie Chicks are the most punk rock band to exist because they were a country band that decided to say F you to the government because they did not support a war. They got death threats from like their major fan base. Yeah. And instead of being like, oh, I'm so sorry, they wrote a banger of a song called Not Ready to Make Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good. And they just kind of doubled down and were like, no. And I love that for them.
Have you ever heard the theory? And I hope somebody could prove me wrong about this. The person that helped them write Earl Has to Die. Yeah. Okay. So apparently Earl exists in this fictional town of that writer who has written a bunch of different songs for other country people. And everything he has ever written exists in this fictional town in his head. And Earl is actually a mechanic from another song that he wrote. And I'm sure we could chat GPT this and figure this out really quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you look up that...
I've not heard this, but I love... I'm going to like make a note. I will take a deep dive down that. That
Stephen
sounds
King,
fun.
Everything's connected.
It kind of is.
It makes me think of like Disney Pixar, like how apparently like Pixar is all within the same universe. And
it's one of those things where I was just doom scrolling and I got this video and it was like, this dude is the same dude from another song. And it was written by this guy because he writes everything about this fictional town. And all of his songs come from this fictional town.
Love that.
Are we looking it up? Are we going to do that right now? Yes, this is making for bad podcasting. But I'm suddenly into it.
I'm super fascinated by it. I mean, when teaching my students about how to write a thesis, I do bring up like basically conspiracy theories that people have, but like it needs to be ones, and it's usually more about like movies and TV shows. So this would be a really cool one.
So his name is Dennis Lindy. Okay. He wrote Burning Love for Elvis. He wrote the next. Okay, so he wrote Long, Long Texas Road, The Love She Found in Me, Walking a Broken Heart. So John Deere Green, he wrote a bunch of the Call 'em Baton Rouge. He wrote.
Oh, and that has my name in it.
So yeah, I guess the thing is like everything he wrote had to do with that. If I'm wrong,
I don't care. I like it.
Let's get into it. All right. Well, I think you passed unpaid and underrated.
Indeed.
I mean, it's your turn then. Do you have anything for us?
I have a few. One is really short, but this is just a fun one. How many chuggas before choo choo?
I don't know what that means.
5?
Like how many? If you were to impersonate a train, how many chuggas?
Chugga. 7. I go 7.
I would say 8.
Yeah, like
that'd be like 5. Well, chugga.
Yeah, I'm going 7.
Well, is it chugga is 1 or chugga is 1?
Anytime you say chugga is 1.
Okay.
So chugga.
Okay. Well, I was thinking like to me chugga is 1. So that's hard. My brain can't work like that because it's counting. It doesn't. I can't compute. So if I said 4, I guess. What did I say? Did I say 4 initially? So then it would be 8 in my.
Yeah.
Whatever I said,
like
double it.
4 or 8 is like the.
Yeah, that would have
do
to.
that.
Why is mine 7? Chugga. Choo choo.
Yeah, I don't know how to, because you have an odd number. That would be weird. Because it's chugga chugga, so it can't. It would be chugga 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 chugga. I don't know. That's a unique.
Yeah, that's just kind of a fun like little one. Another one that is has sparked debate in our household is I really like to color coordinate things, meaning like with my I have like a little planner, and so like when I have my planner for my students, because I teach 3 different classes, and so it's all like all of the freshman honors is blue, all of the Harry Potter is purple, all of like sophomores are green or whatever. And so we've had the discussion about what color is each subject. So if you had to assign a color for like the core subjects in school. So I always start with like math and English because I think those are kind of core.
Yeah, but I feel like you're a therapist asking me this question.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, there is a correct answer, but
because like math is red, English is blue, history is purple. What else is there?
I mean, you got science and language or elective.
Science is also purple.
Yeah, I'm so far removed from an education system. I don't know, but I use the concept at work all the time on my spreadsheets and in my personal life of like all, and it's logical things for me. Like anything that's like something that still needs to be addressed is yellow. Anything that's like permanently done is red. Anything or permanently done in a negative manner would be red. Anything permanently done in a positive manner is green, kind of thing. So like I've got like basically. It's essentially yes,
yeah.
But as far as I have no concept of how that would colors would coordinate with topics of.
And that's why I said it feels like you're a therapist asking it, because I'm associating my emotions to the colors, right?
Which is kind of an interesting. Yeah, so I agree with you. I think that math is red and English is blue.
Yeah.
Cody is the opposite. I would say history is yellow, science is green, unless it's chemistry.
Chemistry could be green.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like problem solving, right?
But it's funny how we do kind of there is sort of a sociological like aspect to it, because we do associate certain things. Like if I were to say like what color is a triangle, a good majority of people would say the same color. So I'm gonna write it down. What color would you say a
green?
Green. I was gonna.
Okay.
Didn't work out.
Just curious. No, because like there would be a lot of
silently
like,
judging.
No. But it's really I do find it kind of interesting. But I was kind of curious. So then like bringing into like lifting, if you had to associate a color with your lifts, because I don't have really a stronger opinion.
The bench is red times 3. Squat is red and deadlifts are purple. Apparently I like purple.
Yeah.
I don't know. Colors, and I don't. It's a unique question, but I don't have an answer for it, I don't think.
No, I think you're mathematically inclined, so I don't think you would have the association of color to emotion to experience. And that's what we love about you.
Yeah, there is no right or wrong answer. Cody and I will like argue about it, but there is no right or wrong answer. It's more of just like, yeah, where do you associate, or like how does that associate to whatever, which I always.
Well, I think with me, like putting colors with gym stuff would always be skewed, because I'm like Mr. Orange. Like everything is orange and black. So like I can't necessarily. I'm not going to be like I'm not going to pull out like a random pink or a purple or a red or something, because those colors don't exist in my space. So it's hard for me.
But like, so what if you had it like you're talking about a spreadsheet? Like, what if you like had a spreadsheet and you were like.
So I do have some colors, but I don't necessarily. I just have more like I don't know, like. Or basically my favorite color would be like highlighted specifically for PRs. So like on my literal spreadsheet of like my best lifts or whatever, like the highest one is like I do have it in an orange, or but yeah, I do PRs like
are orange.
I do prefer a spreadsheet to be somewhat cleaner and when I can be. And we use a communal spreadsheet sometimes on sheets at work sometimes. I just said sometimes, like 4 times, but there's this one kid that doesn't I hate when people fucking highlight the entire line on a spreadsheet the lazy way and it's only like a 2 column line, and then it's like, so then if we delete that and then it's still stuck with like the whole line highlighted past the spreadsheet, and I'm like, you're so fucking lazy, just take the extra second and only highlight like the 2 columns, don't just push the one button and then like don't clean it up after yourself. It's sorry, that was a little rant.
Valid.
I feel so.
And then if we have time, I have one more question for you guys.
Fire away.
And I thought of this one as we were talking, because we were talking about the zoo, and when you were talking about the dog and could take a dog. That's another conversation that we've had, is what do you think is the biggest?
Oh, we've had this on here before. Yeah. I think I said coyote. I am fairly certain I could take 1 or 2 coyotes. If it's my safety at risk, 1 or 2. If it's my kid's safety at risk, maybe more.
Yeah, like it's the like out of 100 fights, you win at least 51 of those. You know?
Yeah, yeah. It would probably
win every.
It would probably be a coyote. I'm not gonna sit here and say I could take a bear, because I'm not, you know, not one of those gym bros. But I'm fairly certain I could take a coyote or 3.
That's I would hope I could prevail over an animal that weighs less than 100 pounds or 150, maybe 125 pounds. Anything under 125 pounds, I would hope I had a good shot of, just because no matter what it is, almost, I would imagine that like just the fact that I weigh twice as much of it, I could literally just lay on it and fucking break its neck at some sort if I had to. Like if my life was in desperate fucking, like I don't have no desire to hurt and to kill an animal, but if the hypothetical situation is
you're in an arena,
if you don't do this, you fucking your wife dies if you don't kill this animal. So I'm gonna fucking kill everything you put in front of me. But realistically, anything half my body weight, I'll fucking destroy. Up to,
because like there's some scrappy ones that are small, like a honey badger or something. Like they're kind of small, but like I don't know.
I don't think me and a 90-pound Wolverine are going head to head. Like I think that Wolverine would take me the fuck out. But a coyote, because they're just dumb feral dogs, right? Like
they're pretty quitty.
Yeah, but if they circled me and it was just me, and you know, I'm tired, I've been sleeping, whatever. Like I might get taken out by coyotes.
Right.
But if I'm outside
and win 51.
Yeah, a couple coyotes circle my daughter, well, you're gonna have a lot of dead coyotes on your hand, because that's like your brain would siphon that differently, right?
Right.
My mind is just, it's hard for my mind to work with that too, because it's like, okay, well, like if the question was basically the biggest animal, then it's like, well, I would just pick the biggest, docile animal versus, obviously a small aggressive animal. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's those like think tank questions always throw me off, because it's like, well, if this, then that, and I'm like, there's not a perfect answer for anything. So it's like, and then I don't know, but I hope I never have to kill anything.
I love that. Like, if this was like a bro podcast, you'd be like, a bear. I could take a bear or a wolf. Like, no, the fuck you couldn't.
We got into an argument with a girl that was like a kangaroo. We're like, no. And she's like, no, like you guys don't understand. We're like, no, like you're just wrong.
No,
like no scenario, it's a 0 out of 100 chance. Like you get ringed by the kangaroo every time.
There's maybe a chance you could intimidate
like a 40-pound kangaroo. I could
even those 200-pound kangaroos. There's a chance you could intimidate.
Maybe if I got like a sneak attack on it, and like around its neck before it like realized I'm there. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like
I've seen videos of dudes that just like walk up and they slap it, and the kangaroo's like, "Oh, you're like you're a thing. My bad,
the
bro."
Viral one. The guy
but like if that dude was meek, let's say, and that kangaroo was like, "No, I'm gonna take you out, bro." No, you weren't taking out that kangaroo.
No.
Like you got lucky with the intimidation factor on that one.
Yeah.
So I guess if we're talking like full on fight, I'm still gonna say coyote, but it's that's a realistic version of one I have to deal with.
Yeah.
Right? When my girl's outside and I'm on the deck, I'm watching for coyotes. Like that's a realistic thing I've had to think about. I'm not watching out for mountain lions or bald eagles or anything that could take out my 3-year-old. I'm watching out for the one thing that potentially might.
Mhm.
And that's why we keep an axe or a machete very close at all times. All right. I think we did it. Or do you have?
Yeah.
Do you have another?
No, I was
one?
gonna say that's all the questions that I.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it. This was a blast. Anything else? If you have nothing else you want to cover, any call outs in the powerlifting you want to make? Anybody in your weight class that you think you're gonna just dominate, destroy, or have you got a pretty I don't know. I don't think Dave does I don't know how much he's the roster he's put out as far as like who's in what weight class yet or not.
No, I haven't really. And I think I might. Depends on because I think I might be not in the weight class that I originally anyway.
Okay, so twist on that. What kind of numbers you're looking to hit, just so anyone listening can kind of get like a gauge on, your strength level.
Anything over like an 800
Impressive as shit.
something total. I did the competition with Big Andrew a couple of months ago in San Diego area, and
the
so
turkey pool.
That'll be
or no, that was you did something more recent. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I would love to just kind of like be able to compare those numbers and hit similar, if not better numbers. Yeah. So I would say like above 830 would be a really good day.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Well, we can't wait to see it. All right, everybody that wants to support the podcast, do us a favor. We got some affiliate codes that benefit you, and some of them benefit us. But Obsidian Ammonia, Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con, Belt Fed Strength, Freedom Fitness Equipment, and apparel from the Strength Co. Use code UNPAID at all those locations. Help save you a little bit of money. Specifically, Home Gym Con is coming up in less than 2 or 3 weeks. If you are anywhere near Louisville and you haven't bought your tickets and you're thinking about it, go ahead and pull the trigger on that. Tanner will be there. Big Minnie will be there helping, pretend to be Tommy with the camera. And there's at least a dozen crew that'll be there. So come hang out with us. Big Scar, one more time. Where do you want them to find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at scar_lifts.
Awesome. Where you at, Joey?
Joey_Malesko, MLECZKO on the Instagram. And that's about it.
So we have an Instagram, Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. We got the website, unpaidinternpodcast.com. Go race carp for that first YouTube comment over there. And I'm KeithHoneycutt73 on Instagram. More importantly, go follow my Orange Gym, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just so busy. I'm so busy all the time.
Everybody makes fun of me for that.
Oh no, I got a thing about that.
It's not even. It's more of a. I don't know. I think it comes back to the change thing.
If you want, I can talk about it in the episode, or I can just say,
funny.
When Tommy was talking about how budget is so subjective, and how like you can't really use that word. In my head, I was like, so is busy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Keith might be busy, but he's not as busy. Yeah, he's not as busy as Joey with 2 kids, and I'm not as busy as Tanner with 4 kids, and so on and so on, and other people with more like things going on. I was like,
the SpongeBob quote. They're like, "Are you busy or are you busy?"
Yeah, and I was like, everybody just accepts Tommy saying like budget is subjective, but everybody rips on Keith for saying he's so busy. Like that kind of wasn't fair. But I'm not gonna like come to your defense. That would not. That's not on brand for me.
I have a lot of free time, but I also get overwhelmed extremely easily. So me living in a state of panic and overwhelm and anxiety, and like having to come down from that time doesn't exist. Like if I wasn't productive during that time and I'm just zoning out because of my mental health, like that time doesn't exist towards being productive. So in my mind, that didn't exist. So that's just still adding on to the workday kind of thing. So
no, I get it.
So,
but like I said, I'm not coming out in your defense in public.
No,
like,
I get it.
Cody, do you want to jump in?
Oh yeah,
he's in the car with.
Oh wow, he's still driving. Guys. There he is.
Yo.
Yeah, there's Big Mikey, my coworker, that was forced to listen to the whole thing.
Sorry, Mikey.
And now he has to rate it on that. He has to rate it on a scale of 7 out of 7.
It was a 7 out of 7.
So is the Massonomics 10 out of 10 and we're at 7 out of 7? Is that fair?
I'm not familiar. I think it's the other way around.
That's true. We do.
Get the balloons. Get the balloons.
That's true. I do. As far as following that logic, because even when they do the interviews, it's very surface level interviews because they want to keep it to like a an hour interview and then save the other hour to shoot the shit. So like we've had some
serious goose moments on here, and they're mostly silly goose, and that's the 7 out of 7.
All right,
that's a fair assessment. I dig that. Not to knock on the sisters too hard, but anytime someone wants to give us credit, I love it.
What's meant to be, and that's why we're all here.
Yeah, we are all perfect in our own way. We're just slightly more perfect than they are.
I will say one thing. Just you were talking about the Hong Kongs. I tend to listen to my audio stuff at a kind of faster pace.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day was the first time that I heard the theme song at like the pace that it's like at 1 time speed, and I was like, "What the heck?" I normally hear it as like I'm like, it's so fast, and I was like, yeah, like it like gets you all pumped up and stuff. And then I heard it, and I was like, no, like that's wrong, because I'd only ever heard it go so fast.
I really love when I listen to Massonomics because I listen to it at 1.5. Mm-hmm. So you'll hear that, and it's just so, and I'm just like, I know the song, and same with the one crazy bitch that they do all the time. Yeah, it's so funny hearing that so fast because it sucks. And you're like, that's not how the song goes.
Or the one that's great is 1 week, because that's already so fast.
Yeah.
It's been 1 week. Like that song is already so fast. So hearing it at I think I'm depending on my mood between 1.4 and 1.
Yeah, I'm usually at 1.5 for Massonomics.
I can't do that fast.
I don't listen to our podcast, so.
I listen to the intro and the outro typically.
I'm not going to listen to my own voice for 2 hours.
I want to hear what ridiculous. Nate actually kept in and what he didn't. Because sometimes he'll put a lot of work into keeping some of the post and pre-show, and other times it's just nothing. I'm like, fucker, I know we talked about something good.
Wrong again, Keith.
Hong Kong